Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. How's everyone doing? Glad to be back here today. We're going to be finishing up Strange Horticulture. So, hi, Angaris. How are you? So, we have our Strange Horticulture. And there we go with the first. Excellent. So, yeah, we're going to be picking up with Strange Horticulture. I left this where we were at. So, so yeah, we will be ready to pick up. How's everyone doing today? How's everyone's weekend going? It has been a nice, quiet Saturday over here in Chicago, so that's been nice. Yeah, I'm doing well too. It's been good. I know our temperature has dropped off quite a bit, and we're expecting now to finally hit the Arctic blast that they've been talking about for what 2 weeks now. So, but otherwise, yeah, things are going well. It's kind of cloudy out, but that's actually good because the direction the sun comes in the afternoon really tends to reflect off my monitor, and that can be a pain to see. But yeah, last time we left off, we also, yeah, the rain has finally stopped, right? Last time we left off, we had organized our plants a little bit to kind of get a little more color coded, so that was really nice. Um, but yeah, we were having a lot of rain, and the windstorms yesterday were something else too. I know the cats were really freaked out by all the wind, especially Tempest. Every time that would start going again, her eyes would go all wide. Um, Rodan mostly slept through it, which is nice. But all right, so let's go ahead and take a look at where we left off. We had gotten this message. It has many names. Uh, yeah, he does not like thunder at all, Rodan. He doesn't like thunderstorms. Fierce is just kind of. Sometimes he gets freaked out over things, sometimes he doesn't. And Vex just likes things chill. All right, so the letter we had gotten just before our day ended was it has many names. Some call it the Woken Dendru, believing it to be related in some way to the deadly gilded dendra plant. Others call it the Night Stalker, the Miasma, or the Dread, but the most common name for it in the Shire is the Servant. You'll have heard of it in children's songs such as Keep the Fire Burning and Servant and Master, and there are hints of it in the older stories, but nobody alive has seen it in the flesh. It is said that the dead ground northeast of Tebay, where nothing but Digitalis mortis grows, was caused when the servant last walked our lands hundreds of years ago. Hi, JJ. How are you? Welcome in. Happy Saturday. So let's go ahead. We'll give Hellebore a pet, and then we'll end our day and start on with our next clue. JJ is on a 30 stream streak. Oh my goodness. JJ is streaking through the chat. JJ, put some clothes on, girlfriend. 30 streams. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You are here every time, and I'm always so glad to see your face. Hey, Firewolf, how are you? Welcome in. But, Mom, I know. Put your clothes on, young lady. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are here today. Oh, what is this? This one's blank? Every day she attentively followed the teachings of the Arda. Every day she patiently performed the tasks given her. Every day thoughts of the book itched away at the back of her mind. Oh, this one lets us go back. So we had So she found something she wasn't meant to find. A book tucked away in a forgotten corner of the Ambleside Library. The book both fascinated and terrified her in equal measure, and after studying it for some time, she reached a decision. She would never use the power she had discovered. She would hide the book where it could never be found. Okay, so there was this occult book that she found somewhere in the Ambleside Library. Um, and she realized that the power in it is pretty intense. So time passed, a year and then another. The book remained hidden, but out of sight didn't mean out of mind. The book was what her thoughts settled on when she rested, what she brooded over when she did her chores, what she pictured when she dreamed. At 15, her mother, strong, dependable, and loving, was struck down by typhoid. The girl drew inward as her father turned to drink. All right, so she found this book pretty young. Not long after the girl left home, her father wept, but he was so caught up in his own grief that he let her go and didn't look for her. Before she left, she returned to her hiding place and carefully retrieved the book, her excitement building as she did. She couldn't articulate what was so alluring to her about the book, but by now it had become an obsession. At first, she felt free, but it wasn't long before the reality of her situation began to take its toll. She stole food when she was hungry and slept in makeshift shelters, not knowing where she was going, not caring. Eventually, she made her way to Griesdale Forest. So, this girl here has run away from home because her mother died and her father has become an alcoholic afterwards. And she realizes, though, that she has nowhere to go. She eventually winds up, though, in Griesdale Forest, which is where we know the sisterhood is located. A young woman alone in the world, she was taken in by the sisterhood and given a home. It was a chance for redemption, a new start. Every day she attentively followed the teachings of the Arda. Every day she patiently performed the tasks given to her. Every day thoughts of the book itched away at the back of her mind. So she's trying to rebuild her life, but at the same time, this power that she could grasp for herself is, sitting there in the back of her mind. She knows that this book could give her power. And then I'm guessing that eventually she knows something about the death of the Arda. So we have a blank card, day 10, Sunday. And actually, I think I know exactly what we need for that. We have this thing here that shows us hidden messages. A secret uncovered is a secret no more. 2 miles north of Foxfield. Okay, so 2 miles north of Foxfield. Where is Foxfield? Okay, here's Foxfield, 2 miles north. Okay. 3 ravens circle above, their caws and croaks cleaving the silence. An omen. I take what I came for and leave. We have a plant. Ooh. Okay, and actually that one fits right in with the ones that we have down here. But we definitely want to move this over this way again, because these are the ones that we don't have labeled. You know what they say, 2 can keep a secret if one of them is dead. Very true. Oh, I can take this though, and I want to keep this one. I can put this one back though. Yeah, I would trust Angaris to keep my secrets, but the only other one I would share my secrets with would be my cats. And pray that, no Dr. Dolittle comes along. Alright. In reference to your question the other day about Long Meg, I'm afraid I do not have an answer, but Calder Abbey has a wealth of knowledge on local lore. If you ever go there, the monks will request a plant from you, but they won't tell you what they want, a sort of test. They've never allowed me to look through their stacks. Simone. Okay, so here's our thing about Long Meg. Alright. And then if we go to Calder Abbey, we might be able to find out what Long Meg is. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Where is Calder Abbey? Here it is. All right. A small window opens within the much larger oak door. From the darkness within, a voice proclaims, "Only a friend may enter." Okay, so one of our things was to give to a friend. I remember that one pretty early on, but I forget the name of it. Let's see. One of these was to give to a friend, and it has to be one with a check mark because it is one that we found. Right? Speak friend and enter. I would actually like to get like a plaque like that for our front door. That, and I want to get the like welcome home with the Coheed and Cambria emblem for the O. All right, so Brimlock keeps us warm. Butterdale is for a poultice. Um, Cabelia is bring good fortune. Clavilium is Lovelock. Balrock, right? Hi, Vex. Hello. Duranthium. Elderfinium. Eyebright. No. Forest Camphor, Fever Kiss. No. Fox Button. A contract of friendship. So, Fox Button. This one? No. It's another one that has like the cute little leaves like that, though. Oh, this one. Because it was the one that looked like buttons. All right. So, Sheep Snap. Oh, and I remember this in the other game too. The Sheep Snap pods were used in one of the amulets. All right, let's move this way again. The hatch snaps shut and the oak door swings inward slowly, without a sound. I'm ushered in by a man wearing a plain brown robe. He nods silently when I ask about Long Meg and leads me through the abbey to a small library filled with scrolls and books. Without a word, he pauses for a moment, surveying before selecting a scroll and handing it to me. Regarding Long Meg, there's a stone circle north of Undermere. According to local legend, some hundreds, perhaps even thousands of years ago, a witch known as Long Meg lived nearby along with her daughters. They were wild, godless people who practiced evil magic until one night they went too far and Meg and her daughters were turned to stone. The tall stone that stands apart from the main circle is called Long Meg by the locals. How do I remember such things? There's some of them that I just wind up remembering them. It's one of those I call it like my ADHD brain superpower. I can remember like weird facts, even if I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago. But strange facts like that are just things that will like, oh, I remember that from this, or I can remember that from here. It's often how I wind up starting on one subject and wind up like 10 steps away from it later, not knowing how we got from one subject to something completely different. Okay, so we need to find the stone circle north of Undermere, and the largest one is Long Meg. Anarchy is the same, you know. It just, like I said, it's almost like its own little superpower. It's just you just have like this random wealth of knowledge somewhere in your head, and maybe it has something to do with something else, and you know it's a good thing to share with others. Sometimes it's just like, hey, have you ever heard of X, Y, or Z? Perfect in a pub quiz. Yeah, my brother is like that too. My brother is just, you can ask him about something and he can give you like a huge rundown of it because it's something he was up at some point and decided, oh, hey, I want to know about this. And he goes into like in-depth research and can tell you everything you want to know about it. And now he is a superpower with that because he is just amazing. You could think like, oh, here's this really random off the wall thing. And he'll be like, oh yeah, I know about that, and blah 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 blah, and tell you all about it. I'm like, okay, all right, how did you hear about that? And he's like, oh, just one of those times, Wikipedia rabbit holes. And I'm always impressed. All right, so let's find the tall stone that stands apart from the others in the circle. So here's Undermere. All right, here's the stone circle. None of them. Well, I guess maybe that one stands apart, but I wouldn't really say so. Hold on, where is this one again? Start at Long Meg, South 3, and then East 2. Okay. Let me just see. The daughters, the stone circle. Okay. So I don't think there's one that really stands apart here. They're all kind of the same. Unless Long Meg is supposed to be Tarn Crag. I don't think so, though. Where is... Oh, there it is. Okay, let me do this. South 3, East 2. So, okay, South 3, 1, 2, 3, East 2, 1, 2. If it's not this one, I'm going to think that maybe she's one of the mountains. Okay. The river is in its youth here, moving swiftly through the rocks with a melodic gurgle. Among the tall grasses that line the riverbank is a much more unusual looking flower. Ooh. Oh, that one's really pretty. All right. So let's see. We can archive that one because we now have that. We can archive Long Meg. And then Balex Elixir we don't need right now. So alright, we've got that one. This is what we think is a Guria. Alright. What do we have next? Oh, Verona is back. The sisterhood are trying my patience again. If the old Arda was around, but she's not. They've kept secrets for hundreds of years. If ever there was a time to share them, it's now. They know of a way to defeat the servant, some ritual or weapon or something, but their stubborn pride won't bring them to ask for help. Well, I won't sit idly by and do nothing. I'd better have a little chat with this new Arda. And I think I'll take some mountain astery with me. Okay, mountain astery. Promotes an aura of confidence and persuasiveness. The large cup, like flowers, produces stale, damp smell. So large cup, this has large cup like flowers. It has a distinctive smell that reminds me of old books. Perfect. I mean, I guess if you smell like old books, you might be more persuasive. Someone who, would know what's going on because, well, I mean, how would you not? You smell like books. All right, let's pop this one over here with our more orange and yellow ones. Go right over here. Look at that. Just enough room for it, too. Knowledge is kept in books, although not always. Knowledge is often also kept by people who pass things down through oral tradition. So that's why you should respect your elders. Because a lot of times, if they are an oral culture, you're going to find them with your elders. Thomas Green, I have finished the designs you asked me to work on. Be very careful unwrapping these. Some of the glasswork is quite delicate, and I have taken great care transporting them. He looks like he has a thumb for a head. That is a really weird look. Like, his forehead is enormous. He looks like a thumb with his teeny tiny little, well, like, I mean, his whole chin and neck kind of go together. My lab equipment is finally here. I'll now be able to brew elixirs using ingredients from my plants. Okay. Oh, so now I can use this. He could put a Klingon to shame? Yes. What is this? Patterson's Guide to Fatal Fungi and Their Antidotes. Ooh. Spring wax cap. Sometimes fatal. can usually be cured by taking hop heart boiled in vinegar. Sunset Mount Cap, generally not fatal in small doses. Use crushed leaves from sour bandy to cure. Bishop's parasol, often fatal, can be remedied by using the sap from lemon dandy. Copper Caledonian, often fatal, no known cure. Farmer's worry, often fatal. An antidote can be made using royal gentian. Yes, I can make potions now. And there are some that I'll need. So, like this one here, we know Balak's elixir, and I wrote that down. My notes are right here. Let's see. Balak's elixir. We know one of them was I don't know for sure, but they look like the first two are Eyebright and Fennec. Who are we? Mrs. Sprout, right? All right. So let's see. Let's see if we can actually make that. So I'm pretty sure Eyebright and Eyebright is one. Fennec is another, and I think this one was the third. So let's go back here. Eyebright was this one, yeah. Fennec. I think Fennec was yellow. Yeah, look at that. Create elixir. Dang it. Alright, well, I made a mistake somewhere, but that's okay. Maybe it wasn't Fennec? No, it is not Fennec. So I think I was right on that last one, but it is not Fennec. Let me pull out my pen. Right? Alright, so Eyebright I'm almost positive of. I think this one is right. It has the right look. I mean, even the direction of these seem okay. So I'm going to keep Eyebright. I'm going to keep that one. Do I have something else that looks like that if it's not Fennec? Something that has more like star-like petals. That one looks okay, but it doesn't have the little antenna in it. So it's not that. Okay, I don't think I have this one then. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put this back. And eventually I'll be able to find it. I don't really need it right now anyway, so that's okay. Let's go ahead and move these back over here. Oh, our wandering Bew is moved again. Let's put that right back there. All right, Bethany Coleman. The new Arda wouldn't like me being here, but the forest is in danger. I spoke with Verona Green earlier. It is bad. If the danger has awoken, then it will come for us. You must place a peace offering at the altar of Arduina. Okay. So the altar of Arduina is right over there. Give me one sec. I need to blow my nose. You don't want to hear this. Okay, much better. All right, so we need to place an offering at the altar of Arduina. So let's see if I bring this. I'm going to guess it is somewhere near Greasdale. And it sure is, because look, here's the little church at Bruceland. Here's the two mountains. And we can actually follow the river just like it's drawn there. So it's at the base of the mountains, so it looks like it's right here. All right, it seems Beth has been able to keep her fellow sisters away from this part of the forest, for now at least. The trees are thick here. Old too. The altar seems to belong here as much as part of the forest as the gnarled trunks and twisting roots. I must place an offering to the goddess Arduina. All right, so what is this? This is day 10, and this is at the altar. So we can either pick Ember Soul or Cauldry. So let me write my options. Ember Soul or Cauldry. And let's see what each one is. So Ember Soul. Ember Soul is thought to have protective properties. It's sometimes given as an offering to various deities in return for sanctuary. Okay. It produces flowers with many petals. Watch out for the leaves, they're razor sharp. Okay, so that's Ember Soul. Asking for sanctuary, that sounds good. But what is Cauldry? The uses of Cauldry are not well known. Some say it has applications in dark magic, but this author has found neither substance nor specifics to back those claims. Those who worship the huntress Arduina place the flower as an offering to ensure that a successful hunt. It grows from a thin stem with small leaves. So I'm going to try to give her Cauldry. Sanctuary does sound nice, but this is specifically for those who worship Arduina. Is Hogwarts another game you'd likely play? No, I'm not very likely to play that one. I've seen others play it, and it does look like a great game, but it's not one I'm really interested in playing. All right, so let's see. Cauldry has this really neat looking flower with like a single stem coming out. Let's see. I don't see anything that immediately looks like that. Oh, maybe this one here though. Let's look at that. The flowers are deep blue, quite beautiful, really. Okay, so the flowers do seem to match the shape, as well as having the one I guess it would be stamen. I never remember stamen or pistil. That looks like it might be right. Even like where the petals start to form, that looks about right. Let's try this one. Perfect. All right, and we have a Vulum from that. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one. This one is kind of a dark blue. So this one can maybe go over here. Yeah, that goes with the darker blues better. Let's actually move these over some. I think I want to put this one with that. Maybe we'll do it this way. There we go. That looks better. All right, so we've got that. We gave her an offering. So let's see what happens. Hopefully we did the right one. Natalie Cooper. I'm being harassed by loonies shouting about the redemption, saying they're going to set it free. Whatever the hell that means. Well, they could take their seeds of whatever, woken something or other nonsense, and stick it where the sun doesn't shine. I like her. I'm not joining their damn cult. I just want to tend my garden in peace. I'm looking for some larkshine to drive them away if they come around again. All right, I'm with you there. All right, what is larkshine? Oh, just from the picture right there, it is definitely that one. Larkshine is a plant with a powerful defense mechanisms. It releases stinging barbs triggered by light touch. The pain is said to be unbearable and can last for several days. Sometimes confusingly called kidney flower, this is thought to be a reference to the kidney-shaped seeds held within the spiny pods that grow on this plant. That actually reminds me of like the gimpy gimpy plant that you find in Australia. Um, Although that's something that, I mean, you just even brush against it and it's like, um, it's enough to wind up with the little needles in, like embedded into your skin. Although the pain from that can last several days to, it's also been said that it can last several years. Um, that is like one of the worst plants I've ever heard about. All right. Ooh, Lyle of Neptune. All right. Let's go ahead and put our larkshine over with our yellow flowers. Oh, come on, this way. There we go. Oh, that one is, oh, wrong one. This is a little more yellow orange. So let's move these over a little bit. And we will put this one right here. Yeah, that looks good. And then we are now in ads. So I'm just gonna hold off for a minute before changing the day, just so that anyone who is stuck in ads can still join us. All right, so we do have our fatal funguses. We have this, and we also have about the dendru. So nothing too significant there. By the way, how would you like game recommendations in the Discord? Just the name or a link to it? If you could put a link to the game, I would definitely like that. Um, or like if you've seen someone do a playthrough that you think I'd really enjoy seeing, that would be great too. Um, but yeah, just there is a game recommendation channel, so go ahead and pop it in there if it's a recommendation. And then if you want to add a link to it or a link to someone playing, you can do that too, and that would work. I usually don't look through like an entire playthrough simply for the fact that, um, you know, obviously it's a little more fun when you get genuine reactions. But I do like to just take a quick look and kind of skim through just to see if it has, elements that I'd really enjoy playing. But yeah, I've really appreciated all of the recommendations that you guys have given me. I know the next one that I plan to play is one that Firewolf recommended, called Road to Empress. Now I've started playing the game just to kind of see what it's like, and I'm like over the moon for this game. It has been so fun. The one thing that I think might be a little stressful for those of you who are watching is that I will often need to pause or even rewind the game a little bit, because it's um it's a cinematic type game, but it's all in Chinese. So I need to read the translations and it goes super fast. So especially so that I don't like just go straight past someone like giving us information we need, I likely will have to pause. Um no, if you want to put the veil in Discord just for anyone else who wants to see it, that would be good, but I did see that you sent that to me today too. So that's good. If you want to put it there though so others can see it too, go ahead. Because if you all are also talking in the recommendations that it's something you'd really want to see, um, that's something that I would, it would make it more likely that I'd play it. All right, so we are back from ads. Let's go ahead. We'll give Hellebore a little pet. Hellebore is so cute. Jupiter was an awesome cat too. Ooh. Oh, okay, 902-803. I know exactly what that means then. Alright, in time she learned that the sisterhood had secrets, or had she always known that? Had she come to them by chance, or had she sought them out deliberately? She wasn't sure, but by now she knew what she wanted, and she would do anything to get it. Alright. So this is our girl then in the jade mask. Day 11, Monday. Alright. Now, I remember this from when we were looking at which of the peaks were second second to last, or like second to the highest. So if I take this one, 902, and then 803, I should be able to put this on each of them and see which one goes there. So 902 was Bowfell. There we go. 902 Bowfell. Old Man is 803. So if I do that, okay, there's those, the Old Man, Bowfell. And then that puts us right there. Crinkle Crags, maybe? Let's put it right on there and then click. Oh no, I'm going to have to move. Okay, so Crinkle Crag, right there. The impressive ridgeline of Crinkle Crag stretches across the full width of my vision. Days like today are worth being alive for. A colorful plant stands out among the moss. Ooh, look at that. That kind of reminds me the shape of the corpse flower, the one that Angaris was talking about last time, the one that smells like death. That reminds me of the shape of it, and it also has the large protrusion from the middle. I really wish that I had, more of a green thumb because, I love plants and like lore behind them, but I have such a hard time growing anything. George Campbell, my old man reckons there's a plant that can find pots of gold buried underground. Don't know what it's called, but I bet you do. Tell you what, when I'm rich, I'll throw a share of the gold your way. We're looking for Weeping Bell. I mean, working in a shop like this, oh my gosh, it would be ideal. Would you prefer the games to be on stream, or can I stream consoles too? I don't have a console. I only have PC. Yeah, man, I haven't played a console game since like the original PlayStation, or maybe it was like PS2. I had Dance Dance Revolution for that one, and that was like the last one I really played. PS2, yeah. I mean, that was a long time ago. That was, let's see, we moved in here in '09, and it was about that time that was the last time we really played anything on console. Mm. Oh no, I do have a Switch. I do, I just don't play it very often. I'm not even sure how to stream from the Switch, to be honest. Might be something to figure out. I would definitely prefer to stay on PC, though. All right, Weeping Bell, a plant that is believed by many to lead to gold. Um, you'll have about as much luck searching for the end of a rainbow. The soft-frilled leaves can soothe insect bites, and it's also known as golden light and sometimes fool's hope. Yeah. Um, I know the Switch 2 came out. I don't know like if it's got any special games on it. I had originally gotten the Switch simply because I wanted to play Legend of Zelda, like the old Super Nintendo version. Um, and I basically got the Switch just for that. We had a Super Nintendo, and it eventually went kaput. So, but oh my God, the Legend of Zelda, I was just like, that was my favorite, and one that I have not been able to find that I also loved for Super Nintendo was Lufia 2: Rise of the Sinstrels. Um, that was such a fun one. Um, and that was actually one of the first games that like I cried at the end of it. Like it was a game I got so into that when we got to the end, I actually cried. Um, but yeah, need the GameCube on Switch 2, but not Switch 1. Okay. Yeah, I don't know too much about the other games. Like I said, I was just, it was more for like the old Super Nintendo games that I really wanted it. All right, so let's see. Is it this one maybe? Soft Leaves? That does look like the right shape. Soft frilled leaves. Okay, they are soft. Golden light and sometimes fool's hope. All right, I think it's this one then. All right, and then I'm going to change the thing on that like I did with the others to show that it has other names. So, Weeping Bell. I was using, I think, pink ones for that. So pink Weeping Bell is also known as Golden Light. And Fool's Hope. All right. Actually, an interesting story from like when I was real little. I don't remember this happening, but my parents have talked about it. Um, I was just a baby. My parents had moved briefly to Colorado. My dad went to automotive school out there. And then I think my uncle went to school out there too, because it was um, my mom, my uncle, and my dad who moved out there with me. And they actually saw the end of a rainbow at one point, like where the rainbow actually ended and like stopped in the middle of the road. And they talked about that and they were like, yeah, we always wanted to go back and, see if there was anything there, um but no, they never did, but that was like their favorite story to tell. And then I guess shortly after that they found out that they were going to have my sister. So that's always an interesting story that they would tell. So would you be willing to stream Switch games? It's just that you don't know how. Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, if I could figure out how to stream Switch games, maybe I would. But, yeah, I would have to figure out how to do that. But yeah, if you guys have something for Switch that, you'd really like to see, um, let me know and, I can figure it out. All right, Enos Alfred. Oh, here's our Dendro guy. I have a task for you that would greatly aid the seeds of redemption. One of the Dreyer is in town, and we know he's paid you a visit already, no doubt feeding his habit. We suspect he's here to hunt the Dendro. If he returns, give him some of this. He will make a worthy sacrifice to the Dendro. Let's help him on the way. So whatever this is, this one is toxic because he wants a sacrifice. So I'm going to do this and I'm just in all caps, poison. Whatever that one is, they want us to give that to the Dreyer. So that's one of those things that we are not going to do when that comes up. All right, Amos Duncan. I'm heading out on the road again, but before I leave, I wanted to store some valuables in a safe. I don't trust myself to remember the combination, and I certainly don't trust myself to write it down anywhere and not lose them. This is where you come in. Surely you've got something up your sleeve for me. You found them on Steam? Which ones? Which ones did you find on Steam? All right. Oh, so Balak's elixir. Now we get to actually make one of the potions. Cat quest. Ooh. 1, 2, and 3. There was one that I looked at that I thought I'd play Cattails. I know it came up as something that would be interesting. I might have to give that one a try. But yeah, go ahead, post that in the Discord. All right, so Balox. I know definitely that's got to be Eyebright. I can't think of it being anything else. That one, it just is too on the nose looking. Right? I mean, look at that. It matches pretty much identically, especially like with the middle looking a bit like SpongeBob. So I'm going to say, yeah, that's got to be the first one. The second one, I thought it was Fennec, but we know it's not. I think I have well over 100 now. How about you, Firewolf? How many do you have set up? Yeah, there, oh my gosh, there are so many of them. I went and I was looking yesterday and I was so excited. The snowman is like so big. It's like spilling out over the fencing around it. All right, I still think that this has got to be the third flower, whatever this one is. I'm pretty sure it's that. It's this one now that I don't know. I think, was yesterday the last day to do the snowman in Palia? Because I know I had gotten a couple more boxes today when I was playing. Oh, is it this one? Ah, there we go. That one can be the middle plant. Okay, so yeah, let's try those. Maybe? Fingers crossed. All right, I made it. New elixir acquired. So the update is on the 13th. Okay. You have them on parade. Oh, that's so cool. All right, so now we have Balak's elixir. Let me put a tag on this one. Balak's elixir. All right. And then I'm gonna, let's put that up here. All right, let's go back to this guy. Let's give him that one. Perfect. Trying to find the right lighting. Yeah. I'm excited for the update coming up. I think too, ooh, I really want to stream some Apalia too, but how do I want to do that? Maybe I'll stream Palia on Tuesday. But I definitely want to get started on the Road to Empress too, because that one is really cool, and I think you all are gonna enjoy it. I've run out of, oh, I can't remember its name. It's a sweet-smelling plant with small purple flowers. I need it for reasons. Okay, so small purple flowers, dark purple flowers, something that smells sweet. Is it this one? The smell is alluring. Okay. Probably this one then? Alright. And is that one... Why do I have that one in... I wonder if that one should have had... Yeah, that one has another name. I just didn't write it down for some reason. Okay, because Meekdu is the one that I'm pretty sure that's it, but I don't know for sure. So Solomon Scepter is also known as Hell's Gate. And, oh, Solomon Scepter or Scorn and Hell's Gate. I wonder if that one had the other names on there and it just took them away because of that. You put the Kitsu mailbox on your plot. The Kitsu mailbox is so cute. Oh, it's Simona's back. Oh, goodness, Hellebore, you haven't been getting enough food. Oh, don't let that cat fool you. Whatever will become of you? My mother's had me looking into this servant creature for you, but I'm afraid I've not been getting anywhere. It's strange. I'm sure I've seen some reference to it before, but I'm drawing a blank when I try to find anything. I think Lord Fremont's archives would be a good place to look. I was going to post this to you, but I was in town anyway, so I thought I'd drop it off in person. That and sneak in some Hellebore hugs. You know what? You can come hug Hellebore anytime you want. Kitties absolutely love the attention. But don't let the cat fool you. I know they pretend like they have never eaten or seen food in their whole entire lives, even after they've eaten 2 minutes before. Mine all do that. Actually, you see all the little, you see all the posts that people will show of like their cat rattling their bowls or anything else. The only cat we've ever had who has done anything like that is Fierce, who decided that it was time to be fed, and he actually brought his bowl all the way upstairs and dropped it off by Angaris's feet to be like, hey, feed me. Now, it wasn't that he wasn't fed for the day or anything else. He just knows that the outdoor ferals that come around had gotten a little extra wet food because they had come by, but he hadn't gotten any more. So he brought his bowl all the way upstairs, and it's just a little it's a very light, shallow plastic bowl to keep from whisker strain. And he brought it all the way up, dropped it right at Angaris's feet. But yeah, the all four of them will act like they have never seen food before if you'll let them. I mean, Vex and Tempest, if you open the fridge, because they know we keep either like some turkey, some chicken, or lately we've had some ham in there for them, they will like launch themselves into the fridge as soon as they see it open. All right, our letter from Simone says, I've not been getting anywhere looking through my collections in Ambleside for any mention of the servant, but Lord Fremont's archives at Muncaster are home to many ancient and esoteric scrolls covering a wide variety of subjects. It might be worth a visit. Yes, they do know what the containers look like. They absolutely do. All right, so Muncaster, huh? Let's see. If you spot it before I do, just call it out in chat. Muncaster. All right, here's Ambleside and Undermere. Is it close to here? Is that... Does it say Meat Hop? Meat Hop. That's a name. Huh. Okay, let's go ahead. And more. Hawk's Head. Alright. Oh, there it is. Muncaster Castle. Alright. I follow Fremont's manservant deep into the vaults of the castle. 2 hours later, I have still found no mention of the servant. On the verge of giving up, a name grabs my attention. The Woken Dendru. Didn't Verona say that was another name for the servant? Alright, so we collect that. Better than being called Meatbag. You know, I guess so. Alright, the Woken Dendru is loyal to the summoner, who becomes its master and can bend its terrible power to their will. This servant is assumed to be immortal since it has no known vulnerabilities, but that doesn't mean that it cannot be defeated. Many hundreds of years ago, a site of ritual importance was created near Blackcomb, to the south of their watcher. A great oak, and the Dendru was ousted from this world. Unfortunately, although we know that 5 plants were required for the ritual, the specific plants are not known. Okay, so I do know though that, so Blackcomb and then the Great Oak. So if we look here, that was around, here's Blackcomb, and I remember if we did this, the Great Oak is right here. So this is where eventually we'll have to go for that. Actually, let's go ahead. Let's give it a second for a will to explore to go up and see if we can find anything out when we go there. JJ says, I haven't just spammed the Discord with cat games. Oh, cat games. All the cat games, huh? Ooh. Ooh. JJ has unlocked the achievement King of Spam Bronze. We gotta change that to Queen of Spam, but oh, Cattails, that Cattails is one that I was looking at. Little Kitty Big City, I bought when that was on sale because I know that was one you had recommended. So yeah, I do have some to take a look at. All right, so Blackcomb is there and it's 2 spaces over. So this one right here. Let's see what happens if I go there. A huge tree stands before me, impossibly tall and wide, bigger than I ever could have imagined any living thing might be. Its upper branches graze the sky. Okay, so I know where it's at, but then I don't know what plants it needs. All right, well. All right, John Hall, Norwood, please. I find it's the only thing that can keep me from nodding off on the night shift. Norwood. Let's see. A bite of the crunchy root of this plant has the effect of a cold bucket of water thrown over the face, an unpleasant sensation accompanied by sharp focus. It's claimed that Norwood releases spores that are invisible to the naked eye, showing up only under unnatural light. All right, so check that out. Oh, I like that. Look at that one. I love how they have the little hidden things like this where you have to figure it out. Not only in this, but again in Strange Antiquities, because it's so cool to have just that little like extra bit of flavor in the game. All right. Let's go ahead. We'll put Norwood over here. And that one is kind of a reddish purple. So maybe we'll put it up here. I don't know if I have enough room to really put it up here neatly, though. Maybe? It's a little cramped. It's a little cramped. Maybe I'll just bring this one down here. Don't want to keep them too close together. All right, so there's the end of day 11. Here's our new card. The first letter of the Latin name of a plant known as golden light. The number of petals on a lucky camellia flower. Okay. When her chance finally came, she didn't hesitate even for a moment. Afterwards, when the Arda was dead, she felt only elation. Years after she had first laid eyes on the book, she had what she needed. All right, so she is the one who killed the Arda. All right, one of our plants is known as Golden Light, so it's going to be one of the ones that should have a pink tag on it, because those are the ones that have multiple names. Golden Light. Okay, Weeping Bell. So let's go ahead, we'll look up here. Weeping Bell. All right, the first letter of the Latin name, so the first letter is an L. Oh, there we go. Pen didn't want to work for a second. An L and then the number of petals on a lucky camellia flower. Oh, wrong one. Camellia, if I remember right, it was 6 is regular, 7 is lucky. Finding a 7-petaled flower is considered to bring good fortune. So L7. Okay, L and then 7 right here. Yeah. All right. I amble through meadowlands, stopping every so often to examine any wildflowers that catch my eye. Buttercups, daisies, cowslips, red clover, knapweed, cat's ear, and hidden among them something new for my collection. Ooh. Very nice. All right. I like the look of those. And then that's that. All right. Let's go ahead and bring our first person. Ooh, Verona is back. Yay. The Sisterhood was attacked last night. Bethany is dead. Oh no, not poor Bethany. Bethany. Along with the Arda and 13 others, those damn fools with all their secrets. No amount of pleading with them could get them to see sense, but through blind luck, we've been left with a slender hope in this fight. So they killed off all the other sisters. Sister Charlotte managed to escape the slaughter with the one thing that could help in the fight against the servant. Trust no one. And we have an item. Okay, so this, interesting. All right, I can see it's gonna wind up opening. Ooh, we had one that's good for opening locks. One of those did open locks. I do remember that. I don't remember which one it was though. So let's see. Looking for one that opens locks. Clivilium? Yeah. Can open a lock no matter how complex or secure. Name is also Lovelock. Okay, and that one I think was all the way over here. Clivilium, okay. Let's see. Here we go. Follow the Duden tributary to its source. All right. First is the corpse's friend, a reminder. Then comes ankle grabber, the binder. Third is the fear bringer. Fourth to lift a curse. A pedal to secure, black blood's reverse. Ooh, okay. I love this. Follow the Duden tributary to its source. Let's go ahead and look at that. The Duden tributary. Okay, Kent, Sprint, Gilpin, Loon, Winster. What is this one? This doesn't have a name, does it? Ah, here we go. Duden tributary. Okay, so here's the river. This would be the tributary coming off of it. I've never seen this plant before, and here it is growing in abundance. Okay, so whatever this one is, this is likely one of the ones we need to destroy the Dendru. So I'm going to put right now, I'm going to put a purple tag on this one. One of 5. So I don't know if it's the first one, but yeah. All right, interesting. We're getting close to the end then. David Schaefer. They're saying the Sisterhood has been attacked, yeah? I don't know much more than that, but those seeds of redemptionists have got all excited about it. There's a bunch of them chanting outside Pulliver's right now. All right. Foxfield Trident. All right. So Foxfield, oh, not this one, this one. Where is Foxfield? Here's Foxfield. Put this one on here. And then Trident right here. From Foxfield, the Trident points me in the direction of some foothills northwest of Swinside Stone Circle. A faint path leads me over a ridge and into a dell. Here, a plant thrives sheltered from the wind. Oh, okay. So we have a couple of these really light purple looking ones. Like a light purple and blue that kind of look very similar. All right. I'm going to put this one over here. We can put this one in the archive. All right. let's take a look at this real quick. So first is a corpse's friend. Second is an ankle binder or an ankle grabber. I do remember that being brought up by someone who came in, because she needed something to undo it. Third is a fear bringer. Fourth lifts a curse. And the fifth one is a cure for black blood. Okay, and then are one of those an elixir by some chance? Okay, let's put that in here. In there, right? Okay. Let's see. I want to look through some of these real quick and see what we can find out right away. So we have a lot of things that we haven't even identified yet, but we can look at those and see if any match these in the riddle. So let's see if anything will work. Let's see. Enhanced psychic abilities. They feed on light, but for stomach pain. Brimlock is to make you warm. Butterdale is for skin rashes. Cabelia is believed to help the dead find peace in the afterlife. Those who can afford it place wreaths. So corpse's friend, possibly. So let's see, I'm going to put this one here. Possibly Cabelia. And that is because it is peace in the afterlife. So maybe. Candlewood has a shielding effect. Caldery is for Arduina. Clavilium opens locks. Common Trouse is a balm for eye strain. Copper Caledonian. Okay, so it makes you very brittle, but it says you can, you say Brimlock, but I think Grimlock the Transformer. That's one of Angaris's favorite Transformers, actually. And yeah, it makes me think of the same thing, to be honest. Alright, a simple potion that will grant courage. Oh, so... Ooh, the Fearbringer. It can grant courage. Okay. Devil's Nightcap. Oh, Corpse's Friend. Okay, so it's not that at all. It's Devil's Night Trap. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cross that off. This one is definitely Devil's... Oh, not Night Trap. Nightcap. Okay. Devil's Nightcap. Okay. That one is for sure. Alright. Duranthium. Okay. Elderfinium can be brewed to create an antidote to Dendris miasma, a deadly poison that causes the blood to slowly turn black. So Elderfinium is the cure for black blood. Alright. Do that. So we know at least 2 so far. That's what I thought you said at first, yeah. I know, it sounds exactly like that. Ember Soul is protective properties. Evulum. No. Eyebright. Let you see in the dark. Okay. Farmer's Worry. Grant strength for short periods of time. Fever Kiss gives you an energy boost. Forest Camphor. Let's see. Sleeping Draught. fox button, friendship, Gandhi root, digestive issues. Dendra is the poison. Sandfire gives off a smoky scent. Harlequin blue has shrieking sounds when you burn it. Henchuck has a startling effect on memory. Even a small dose results in short-term memory loss. Okay. Let's see. Pain relief. Location. Okay, we're looking for an ankle grabber, fear bringer, and to lift curses. Let's see. Curing afflictions of the heart. Meridoc. Oh, I think that's what this one is. Meridoc. Yeah. Round flower is made up of small yellow florets. Yes, a single drop from the strong-smelling sap from this plant utterly drains a person's mental faculties, rendering them slow and uncomprehending. Those games should keep me busy. I bet they will, too. Let's see. Still none to talk about those. Witch's Remedy. Oh, believed to lift curses. There's that one. So to lift cursed, we have long uh, Veracund. Okay, that's number 4. So now we have a fear bringer and an ankle grabber. Maiden Sorrow helps you to keep your mind from wandering. Boundless Secrecy. Let's see. Meek Duel give you painful sores. Mellow Glow. Pass unnoticed. Persuasiveness. Sharp focus. Okay, Fennett. Reduces anxiety. No. Sorry guys, I know I'm not reading through all of these. I'm just kind of looking through to see if we can find any of these. Royal Gentian releases the bind of Swift Snare. So Swift Snare is likely the ankle grabber. But do we have any of that yet? We might not have it. So Swift Snare. Let's see, and we're still looking for one that causes fear as well. Spring Max. Oh, the Fearbringer might be the one that that shrieks. Could be that one. All right. Strengthen relationships. No. No. Or the dog mentality. Insect repellent. Witch fig. Symptoms of symptoms of infection, and worryless is aptly named. Okay, so we don't have the others as far as I know. So that's good to know. But we do have at least 3 that we figured out for sure. All right. I'm going to Blackcomb. I will kill this servant. Many people are saying he who lives without fear does not live at all. I will not say that I'm not afraid, but it would be no bad thing to die hunting such a noble adversary. I will take Embersoul. Okay, so this is Lesser Meridoc. This is the one that they wanted us to give to him. So this is day 12. Let me go ahead and do this. So this is for Forest Vare. And then he wants either Ember Soul or Meridoc. And we're going to give him Ember Soul. Let me just find out which one that is. Ember Soul. Ember Soul is thought to have protective properties. It's sometimes given as an offering to various deities in return for sanctuary. Produces flowers with many petals. Watch out for the leaves. They are razor sharp. All right. This one has many petals. And the leaves look like they'd be sharp. It's quite easy to cut oneself on the jagged leaves, as I have just found out. All right. Ember Soul? Perfect. All right. Widow's Woe. Said to induce fear. Hey, weren't we just talking about that? A fear bringer is Widow's Woe. Hello, Vex. Hi. What I really need to do is eventually get a kitty cam. Okay, so Ember Soul can go right over here with these others that are like a blue-green. All right, let's move back over this way. Milton Forbes. Allow me to present my services. I own a small shop that specializes in curiosities. I would have thought that someone in your position ought to be interested in perusing our collection of manuscripts on elixirs, for example. Right? A kitty cam? Oh my gosh. I would love to set something like that up. And I do have a handful of like cat trees right here in my office as well, because they like to look out the window. So that's something that, you know, fingers crossed, I'd like to do in the coming months. All right, Arnside Antiquities, 21 Orchard Road. All right, Arnside Antiquities, 21. Okay, so let's go to Arnside. That's where I want to go, I'm guessing. And Arnside was, no, that's Ambleside right by us. Arnside is all the way down here. There we go. All right. The dark exterior of Arnside Antiquities blends into its surroundings. A tailor called Jones and an ugly-looking haberdashery to the extent that I walk past it 3 times before I find it. Inside, however, I'm greeted by a world of intrigue and wonder. Old trinkets sit alongside faded books and manuscripts, while strange utensils and machines use their use is unfathomable, occupy rows of display cases. Ooh. It's some time before I peel myself away, returning to Undermere with 2 new recipes for elixirs that demand further study. Ooh, okay. So the elixir of the damned. That sounds promising. Come on, baby. You want to come over here? Come on. So the elixir of the damned. And then St. Quintin's elixir. So made from a combination of arbutum okay, these are all giving us the Latin names. Let me go ahead and let me write down the Latin names. So let's see. Arbutum, Elacritus, Maculosis, I'm thinking Maculosis retentia is eyebright. Because those, obviously a retina is in your eye, and maculosis is like macular degeneration, which is like your eyes, it's an eye disease. So I think it's that one. And then mens fortis. Okay, so that's that one. Can bring back someone from the brink of death, but at the expense of their soul. Those who have drunk it appear vacant and lost, alive, but no longer really with us. Ooh, that's not good at all. All right. And then we have St. Quentin's. Okay. And then it will enable any drinker of it to overcome their sense of fear, though it should be considered beforehand that fear is not always a bad thing. For example, it would not be wise to drink this near the edge of a cliff. Well, all right, a five-pointed leaf for courage, a red flower to protect the mind, and then a seed pod for luck. Okay. All right. Well, those should be pretty easy to eventually figure out. We do have ads starting soon, so don't be surprised when that... Oh, and there we go. They're starting right now. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pause that. I'm going to start looking up the Latin names of these plants. So just so I could start looking that up while we're in ads. And you can also, it's the Latin is right under the main title. So if you happen to see any of those, actually let me bring that up real quick. So yeah, if you see any of those before I do, please just start shouting in the chat. Okay, Maculois retentia is henchuck. We don't have that yet though, so... Henchuck. Startling effects on memory. Even a small dose can result in short-term memory loss. Eee. All right. We have two others, Arboretum elecratus and Mens fortis. Let's see. Nothing so far. Oh. All right, so neither of those, it seems like I don't have either of those in here. Let me just make sure, did I start from the beginning? I must have. All right. Are you gonna have a makeup New Year's game night? Ooh, that's a good question. Would you guys like to have some kind of a game night together? Have all of us just kind of play games for a little while? Well, I want to make sure I begin at the beginning, just so that, because I can look for the other ones here. But, I did go through all of these. So, let's see. A 5-pointed leaf for courage, red flower to protect the mind. Let me go look at our red flowers real quick and see if any of those were for the mind. So, St. John's poppy. That's for hearing. Candlewood. A shielding effect for afflictions against the mind. So candlewood for this. Let's see. And we want a seed pod for luck. I think I know exactly what that one was. I think sheep snap is the only one that is a pod, and I only remember that because I remember it from the other game as well. Yes, so sheep snap is for good luck. So this one here is sheep snap. And then a 5-pointed leaf for courage. Let's see. A five-pointed leaf for courage. Butterdale has 5 leaves. That's for skin rashes. Alright, so pointed leaf for courage. If you happen to see anything that is about courage, go crazy in the chat for me. Oh, grant courage. So Daisy Dock is for courage. And right, that is 5 pointed leaves. Yes, it is. So okay, so this one is then Daisy Dock. Now we don't have all of those figured out, but I do now know that those are the ones needed for this particular elixir. And then the other ones. Okay, I know there was nothing after Hen's Chuck. So let me just go up to H just to make sure that I did. Okay, I think I did go through all of these. Oh, no, I guess I didn't. Mens Fortis is Geranthium. And then Arbutum Elicratus. All right, so here's this one. So if I'm gonna just quickly go through again and see if I have Arbutum Elicratus. That's the last one I need for this particular. Up, right there, Kibalia. All right. All right, so Kibalia, Henchuck, and Duranthium will make up the Elixir of the Dead, or the Elixir of the Damned. And then St. Quentin's will be Daisy Dock, Candlewood, and Sheepsnap when I have all of those. I don't have to worry about making any of those just yet because no one's asked for those. But now I know what to have on hand. All right, Faye Swift. The dreams have changed. I understand now what I need to do. When your librarian friend visits tomorrow, give her this instead of the Paliance that she'll ask for. She knows something that she's not telling you. Ooh. Okay, so let's put this on here. Give Simone. Okay. Curious what that one is. Let's see. Long thin leaves. Aroma is sharp and citric. We did have something else that had that look, didn't we? That had that kind of, the piece in the center. So, four petals. Okay, so it has the inside that looks similar to Larkshine. Ah, Lyle of Neptune, also called Truthsayer. This plant will force a person to tell the truth when eaten. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to leave this as purple for right now, but let's say this is called Lyle of Neptune. Okay. All right. Ooh, interesting. I wonder what she's keeping from us. All right, end of the day. Enmore Raven Spider. Oh, okay. So I need to use. Okay, got it. Equipped with the artist's knowledge, she journeyed west to the stone circle. Unknown to her, she was not alone as she made her preparations. All right. Wednesday, day 13. Enmore, Raven, and Spider. Oh, I need to go back. I need to be able to have this open. Enmore, Raven, and Spider. Okay, so here's Enmore. Enmore. Here's the Raven. So let's go ahead and bring it up to here. Raven. And then Spider right here. A jackdaw croaks hidden somewhere nearby. Strange shapes of old stones pierce the long grass. Among them, some plants grow. We have two of them. Ah! I already know what this one is. This one, I'm almost positive, is our sheep snap because it is that huge seed pod. And again, I remember that from the other game where it was dried out and used as kind of like a rattle. All right. Let's go ahead. We'll put this up. We'll put this one back in here. I'm going to leave that one out. All right. Grace Enright. Have you heard of this masked woman? Imagine having that amount of power. Nations would kneel before you. You would be a god. That creature, it's huge, unstoppable, and they say it obeys her every command. It would certainly come in helpful with my father-in-law tomorrow. So I guess I'll just have to settle for some Daisy Dock to help me get through it instead. All right. Daisy Dock is one we do need for elixir. So I'm guessing we do have this already over here. This has that 5 petals, so maybe it's this one. Bluish purple flowers. So it does have the leaves. Okay, so it's 3 leaves, 5 on each one. So I think it is this one. Okay, there's our Daisy Dock. Dead man's fingers. This fungus is typically found in dense forest, protruding through mulch. Is this one of the ones we need? Nope, that's a corpse friend. Said to strengthen resolve and sharpen the mind. Okay. It's not one we're looking for right now, but this is Daisy Dock. I want to put this one over here. That is one we need for St. Quentin's elixir too. So I do have Daisy Dock. I do have Candlewood. I'm pretty sure I have Sheep Snap. I know I have Caballia. I have Duranthium. So I know that I have at least those for the different elixirs. All right, David Schaefer. This letter was delivered in an unusual way. There was no address provided, just the horticulturalist, spelled wrong. I have to assume it was meant for you. All right. If you know your plants, this letter is for you. Ooh, okay. So, aha, yes. Oh ho, so you got it working. Oh yes, yes, it works, it works. Look to the north of Bowfell, at the source of the river Esk. Nobody knows it grows there. It will be our little secret. Ho ho. All right, so north of Bowfell. Let me write this down. I'm going to go north of Bowfell at the source of the river Esk. Okay. All right, well, let's take a look then. Bowfell is... Where have I seen Bowfell before? Bowfell is... Ah, here we go. All right, Bowfell. So north of Bowfell at the source of the river Esk, which would be right here. Sure enough, I find a plant there that I've never seen before. Oh, okay. looks kind of like bells. That's an interesting looking one. All right, let's go ahead. We'll put that away and see what we've got next. All right, Thora done. My husband likes to forage for mushrooms, but I'm worried about the ones he brought back from his last venture. He has just been on a trip across the lake exploring the woods to the west of here. He's got a bag full of odd-looking mushrooms that he says are perfectly safe, but they don't look edible to me. I'd have brought one with me to help identify it, but he's hoarding them because he thinks I'm going to throw them out. I'll come back tomorrow. Okay. Mr. Dunn, mushrooms. Woods west of Undermere, across the lake. Alright, so here's Undermere. West of Undermere, across the lake. So right here. Mushrooms? How have I never been here before? They're hard to find at first, but soon I'm seeing them everywhere. Alright, so we've got little red-capped mushrooms. And this is what he has been eating. So what are these? Red caps have a spongy texture. Alright, let's go ahead and start looking through then. I'll put this one up here for now. Red caps have a spongy texture. So I definitely want to look for anything that says it's a mushroom. Something that has not been identified yet. So if it has a check, it can easily go past. Dead man's fingers, they are a mushroom, but definitely not those. Let's see. Farmer's worry, a spongy mushroom with a potent ability, only safe to consume in small quantities. Grants great strength for short periods of time at the expense of severe fatigue once the effect has worn off. Alright, so spongy mushroom. Yep, they are spongy. So this is Farmer's worry. And I'm going to put it in purple since I don't know yet that it's right. I'm sure it is because it fits, but you know. Alright, so Farmer's worry. Often fatal. An antidote can be made using royal gentian. Alright. So yeah, as soon as she comes back, we know we need to give her some of that. Alright, Simone, hello. Lord Fremont told me he was able to help you find some information on the servant. I've been looking all over the library, but I've discovered this is a mold problem. I hoped you might have some sweet breath that could help me clear it up. So Paliance or Lyle of Neptune. Alright, sorry Simone, but I know that you know something. And I need to know what it is you know. I didn't want to mention this, but Fremont gave me something else from his archives, a recipe for an elixir. It's the key to the link to the servant. In theory, it would be possible to wrest control of it from the woman in the jade mask. In theory. But the only records I was able to find are hundreds of years old. And even if it works, then what? The power that can be wielded through the Woken Dendru is too great for any one purpose. We should stick to the Sisterhood's ritual. Okay, let me write that down. So this is another possible spot where we have a divergence. So on day 13, of course, my pen is... All right, so day 13 with Simone. So we could give her either the Paliance or the Lyle of Neptune. And we gave her the Lyle of Neptune because we wanted to know what she was keeping secret from us. This seems like a really important one too, because she's giving us from this some kind of recipe for an elixir. Okay, so Fremont gave him something, or here's something else from his archives, a recipe for an elixir. It's the key to the link to the servant. So whatever this is what was being...
You mind if I have some of your tasty beverage to wash this down?
The If it has redeemed hydrate, make sure you stop and take something to drink. You are probably thirstier than you think. And if you don't have water, please drink some water. So this one here is important. Whatever this is, she should be giving us some kind of a elixir then. If we didn't get this out of her, we wouldn't know what this is. And whatever this elixir is, it gives us the possibility to take control of the servant. So let me see this. So Fremont, elixir. So just in case she doesn't actually give it to us, I know where to look for it. Interesting. And she wants us to stick to the sister's ritual. All right. Sour Bandy can help with memory recovery. The name of this plant derives from the fact that its edible large stamen is extremely bitter to the taste. Thinking maybe this one. But okay, so elixir of control. All right. Let's see. Elixir of control. The link between the servant and the master is not fully understood. What we do know, however, is that the link can be broken at the expense of the mind of the master. In doing so, a new master can take their place and assume control of the servant. Ooh, I can see why she didn't want to tell us this one. A strong will is required when consuming this elixir, lest the mind of the drinker is overwhelmed. It's believed that the power of a stone circle can amplify the effect of the elixir. And I know we do have all of these, because this one here is the Farmer's Worry. The one that has the little yellow things here, so that's Witch Fig. And then the purple one with the little flowers, I think is this one. Yes, that one is correct. So if we do this, ooh. All right. We now have the elixir of control. This could get dangerous. This could get dangerous. Where did my... Okay, here's my elixir over here. So let's move these this way and this way. This one did not go back to where it belonged. So let's put this one here. This one, let's go ahead. We can actually redo this to this one. And that is blue, so it can actually go over here. Go ahead and start spacing these out a little better. All right. And then, did we have another one over here that... No. All right, so this is the elixir of control. Let's write this one in here. Oops. Elixir of control. That's a dangerous one to have. A separate shelf for elixirs? Honestly, I don't think I have quite enough room for that. Because I have most of our mushrooms over here for right now, as well as these items that are just leafy. I mean, I could, I suppose, put them like on this one here, but we still have all of these to go through as well. This one is one I'm pretty sure we know. I'm kind of trying to keep some of these up a little higher, just because when things spawn in, they go on the bottom shelf, not the top. But maybe I can put these down here for now. That gives us at least a little more room. Alright, so I can archive that one for now. Interesting. We only have a total of 4 elixirs, though, that I know of. Lorena Chapman. My cousin will be married in 3 days. If you have some Trimblehuff, then it'd save me the trouble of going to find some out. Going out to find some myself. If you knew my cousin, you'd know she's not worth the trouble. All right, what is Trimblehuff? Trimblehuff is traditionally used as decoration at weddings. A cross section of the small cup-like flowers, they generally point downwards to avoid filling with water and to allow easy access for pollinating insects. Looks like this one. So you make us do it right? Well, I mean, I guess if we have them. Oh, maybe this. Oh, I did just see like a little shape. The flowers are blue. Yeah, this looks more like that. They look more cup-like than that one that's more bell-like. It's thought to strengthen relationships. All right. Well, let's give it a try. Perfect. All right, and there's the end of this day. Let's see. The glowhorn or forest lantern or pixie lamp is a phosphorescent illuminating the trees that glows under. Okay, that one we have over here, I think. That's got to be this one. Suspicious travelers avoid walking towards it, fearing the faint light will lure them to their demise. All right, let's bring this one over here with our blue flowers. So go right there. All right. Well, we're looking good. All right, here's our new card. 8 miles to the east. Oh, that was on, okay, that was on the coin, Gosford, because that's how we wound up getting the Rising Dread all the way up until we went insane. The shepherd watched as she prepared the leaves and roots that she would require. He watched as the hours dragged by, the sun set, and she worked by candlelight, at times sitting still, at times moving like a dancer among the stones. The change happened suddenly, but also subtly, so that at first the watcher wasn't sure that anything had happened. Then he saw it. Okay. Oh, this is probably the poor shepherd that wound up getting killed. Okay, so that sign. Okay. 8 miles to the east. Yes, there. Okay, so that's the sign. So we need to go to Gosforth, and then 8 miles to the east. All right, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gazing at the still water of the lake, its black waters draw me into a reflective trance. Here and there, flowers that I don't recognize grow along the bank. Okay, ooh, those are both quite pretty. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Thoradun is back. Okay, so, well, he went ahead and ate those bloody mushrooms. And of course, now he's sick. Is there anything we can do? He's in a bad way, and I'm worried about him. All right, so we need to make an thing using Royal Gentia, which, if I remember right, yeah, that's this one here. So we'll give her that. And we managed to save him from dying by eating mushrooms that he had no idea what they were. Please don't eat random plants that you find until you can verify that they are safe to eat. Oh no. I've been to Blackcomb. I fought the servant and lived, but still my adversary stands. It must be defeated. For my part, I'm ashamed to say that I am done. And my soul could use the tonic of St. Quentin's elixir if I'm ever to recover from the horrors that I have seen. Alright, so St. Quentin's is Daisy Dock, Candlewood, and Sheep Snap. So I'm pretty sure Sheep Snap is this one. Candlewood is this one. And Daisy Dock was, let's see, add the 5. This one? No, that's Ember Soul. Well, let me open my book up. Maybe I can just find it from that. Daisy Dock. Okay. Oh, this one? There we go. Okay. Let's make sure everything went back where it should be. There's that. Here's this. Alright. There's this one. And then I can go ahead and label this. Oh, and it already labeled it for me. That's awesome. So this one here then is St. Quentin's elixir. Alright, we can go ahead and go back here. We can give this to him. Oh man, he got beat up at this one. Alright, Priddle. Oh, that's one of the ones we used for one of the other elixirs. Alright, well, let's go ahead. There's a hateful man I sometimes see around town. He's called Isidore Burbage. Yes, we hate him too. Yesterday I saw him bending down as though to pet a stray dog, but instead he punched it as hard as he could. I rushed over and the coward fled. Someday he'll get his comeuppance. Ooh. Oh yeah, he punched a dog. Not only does he hate cats. Sadgill Chalice. Alright, so let's go to Sadgill. Sadgill is here. Okay, Sadgill and then the Chalice. I get it like right on there. Chalice is right here. The Chalice clue takes me directly south of Sadgill to a spot next to the river. Moss-covered rocks line the banks, velvet to the touch. In the moist conditions, a deadly-looking plant grows abundantly in the lush grass. Ooh. Ooh, feed me, Seymour. The jerk that clearly hates animals. Yes. He's gonna get it. He is gonna get it. Alright. So yeah, we got a little chompy plant over here now. Alright. We need to poison him. I couldn't agree more. Verona tells me you're working on gathering the plants for a ritual that will help us defeat this creature. I want to help in any way I can. From what Verona told me, I think this might be one of the plants needed to perform the ritual, but I'm afraid I don't know where it can be found. Swift Snare. The binder, the ankle grabber. Yes, that is one of the ones we need. And the Never Let Go are several of the names given to this plant. Okay, it may give some clue as to its property. Once ensnared, it's impossible to extricate oneself without help. Swift Snare has small heart-shaped leaves. So the ankle grabber is Swift Snare. Alright. I need to make this, I'm going to write these down where I can see it a lot easier. So we need Devil's Nightcap. We need Swift Snare. We need Widow's Woe. We need Long Veracund. And we need Elderfinium. Okay, so Swift Snare Has small heart-shaped leaves. Now those are somewhat heart-shaped, but they don't seem to be very smooth. Oh, but maybe? Bell-like flowers and heart-shaped leaves, that could be it. Could be, could be. Yes, I agree. He is absolutely a prick. If he comes in again, my daughter is getting married and I want to decorate the church with nice flowers. I believe there's a plant with small blue cup-like flowers that's supposed to bless their union. Yes, I just did that one. That is this one right here. All right. All right. Ooh, here's this guy again. Who punches a dog? That guy, Burbage. He's gonna get punched too. They have to make it so hard to be nice, right? I can't help noticing that the Dreher huntsman is still alive. You don't seem to understand the importance of our work here. If you are not with us, then you are against us. When the redemption comes, and it will come, you will regret your actions. Praise the Denjuru. So by letting him live, um, we cut off our route with this guy. So that also means that, um, so on day 4, no, day 6, he comes in and asks us to leave St. John's Poppy. Um, if we don't leave St. John's Poppy, then we won't have the option to give the Ember Soul or the Meridoc. So there's 2 of those that, at least those 2, I would have to give him the St. John's Poppy again and then poison the Huntsman. So there's a couple different endings for that one. All right. Decay gives way to new growth. From death, life. This cycle starts again, west of White Scar by the river. Okay. Behind the woman, a dark skeletal figure began to rise, and a low primal snarl sounded across the clearing. The shepherd turned and ran, cold fear coursing through his veins. He didn't run for long. Okay. Day 15, Friday, and we are nearly there. So decay gives way to new growth. From death, life. The cycle starts again, west of White Scar by the river. Okay, let's go ahead. White Scar. That scar fell. West of White Scar by the river. Okay, we have Whitfell. Decay gives way to new growth. From death, life. Alright. I'm looking for White Scar. Here's Whitbarrow. Is it just me, or does anyone else see the phases of the moon and think of the old Jaffa Cake advert? I'm pretty sure that's just a British thing, because I know Jaffa Cakes are over there. We don't have them over here. Of White Scar. Here's the Swinside Stone Circle. Okay, Old Man Hardknot, Ilgil Head, Scarfell Pike. Sedberg, Killington Lake. Oh, here we go. White Scar Cave. All right. White Scar Cave. The cycle starts again, west of White Scar Cave by the river. So, like right here. All right. The sun-bleached skull fixes me with its black-eyed gaze, a reminder. From the chest of the plant, or from the chest of the skeleton, a plant grows. Ooh, and that's a really pretty one. Let's see. A Java cake is a popular British treat featuring a light sponge base topped with tangy orange jelly or marmalade and covered in a layer of dark chocolate. I think we actually had those when we used to have the Universal Yums. I think we had those in that. That is a really pretty flower. It has a soft aroma that reminds me of a pine forest. Ooh. All right. All right, come on, Hellebore. Time to get going. Oh my gosh, Lovely Static has raided us with a party of 6. Hi, welcome in, raiders. Hi, Lovely Static. How are you? All right. Can we give a shout out to Lovely Static? What were you just playing? Oh, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in. All right. Hello. Hello, raiders. Come on in. How are you all? So what were you playing? Let's see. You were doing Fortnite with the chat? Ooh, how did that go? Oh, welcome in, raiders. We are playing Strange Horticulture. We played Strange Antiquities not too long ago. So we're playing this one now. We're hoping to finish it up today. Well, good. Oh, being able to play with the chat is always so much fun. How long did you stream for today? Please make sure, if you are not already following Lovely Static, please make sure to give her a follow. It's a lot of fun, actually. So we're working in a horticulturist shop that we had inherited from an uncle. And, 4 hours. Oh, all right. So 4 hours, then another one planned later today with friends. Oh, that looks like so much fun. Green Drago, thank you for the follow. Oh, that's awesome. If you have to raid and run, that's fine. Go ahead and make sure you take care of yourself. 4 hours is definitely a long time to stream, so I'm sure you're probably hungry and need all of those. But oh, that's so nice. And thank you again for the raid. Is everyone having a good weekend? Hopefully you all had fun. All right, so we have David Schaefer coming in. He is our, he brings us our mail, and so pretty much every day we get something from him. All right, well, thank you for the lurk. All right, so I've lived in Undermere all my life, and I've never seen the people as worried as they are now. Everyone's talking about the sisterhood and the servant. Somebody needs to do something to stop that beast. Okay, so for those of you who just came in, we're now 15 days into the story, and there's this creature called a servant that it was summoned up by using an old ritual that someone had found, and it will do whatever this person commands it to do. How is your voice? Oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you to say. Thank you for that. You made me blush. So the servant is someone that it's this big creature that was summoned up to help this person, like, basically try to gain as much power as possible. She didn't exactly know what she was doing when she originally summoned it. See, it's not just me that says so. You guys are so nice. Thank you. And then, I don't know, can we go back and look at all of our... I wonder if we can go back and look at all of our day info. So this person right here, this girl in the green mask and the jade mask, she is the one who summoned the creature. It does everything that she wants it to do. And we found out, could sleep to these VODs. Yes, I do have a YouTube channel that I upload them to. Um, Actually, I have it all linked in the Discord, so I'll go ahead and I'll put that in there. Yeah, if you join the Discord, you get notified then as well. And I have thought about trying to do some kind of ASMR. I've been heavily encouraged to, but I haven't yet. So, something I might have to start sometime in the future. So, what we do know about her comes from the chapter info we get each day. And she was a young girl when she found this book. It was kind of tucked away in the back of the Ambleside Library. It had this ritual in it that would let her summon this creature. She knew it was bad and she decided that she was going to hide it away. So she took it, she hid it, and that was that. Around the time she was 15, her mother died, and her father turned to alcohol to drown his sorrow. As he did that, she wound up becoming, kind of more withdrawn, and she wound up taking this book and running away. I would pay for ASMR viewers. Oh my god, you guys are making me blush. Thank you. That's so sweet. Well, I guess that's another thing that I'm gonna have to get to in the coming months. That and I was told I need to make sure I get a kitty cam because I have 4 cats that are often coming in here wanting to hang out. So I have to get the kitty cam set up, and I'll definitely have to get some ASMR going as well. So at 15, she takes off. She decides that she's going to leave home. Her father is upset by it, but because he has turned to alcohol, he, kind of just, he doesn't really do anything to go get his daughter back. So she takes off, and we find out she comes and finds the Sisterhood. The Sisterhood is a group of women who reside in um, Greasdale Forest, and they honor a goddess called Arduina, who is a huntress. She joins them, she starts learning all their secrets, and at some point, she realizes that she can kill the Arda, who is, the leader, gain power from her, and summon this creature, which she's done, and then she's gone into hiding. Recently, we found out the rest of the Sisterhood, including this character here, Bethany Coleman, the rest of them were killed, and only one got away. They were able to give us a recipe to stop the creature. So we have this here. It's going to take these 5 different items. These will let us bind the creature. So it says first is the corpse's friend, a reminder. Then comes the ankle grabber, the binder. Third is the fear bringer. Fourth to lift a curse. Last a petal to secure black blood's reverse. And we've gone through all of those, and we know that we need 5 different plants: Devil's Nightcap, Swift Snare, Widow's Woe, Long Veracund, and Elderfinium. We definitely have Elderfinium, so these ones over here, all of these that have a yellow label, are plants that we've identified so far. Um, we have them by color, but not alphabetically by color as well. So I'd have to go through and look at these. I think this one is Elderfinium here. Yeah. So we'll need those eventually, but each of these has a different purpose, and we have all of them labeled. We have these here in the middle are unknown. The ones that are in pink, we have some idea of what they are. Like this one I'm almost positive is Aguria, but we haven't had it confirmed yet. And ones over here with the more red label, the bright pink, these are ones that have more than one name. So we have all those. And then we also have over here, I have all of our our mushrooms, and then some of these that are just non-flowering plants. We did just have this one here, sheep snap, that we have as well. So I'm actually going to put that here. And then if we slide this over, we actually have our little alchemy station. And we're able to make some elixirs that do different things. Like this one here, St. Quentin's elixir. I think I put that in my archive. But the different elixirs do different things. Like here, St. Quentin's elixir. It enables the drinker to overcome their sense of fear. Though it should be considered beforehand, fear is not always a bad thing. For example, it wouldn't be wise to drink this near the edge of a cliff. There's a person who went to go try to fight the monster. It's something that from childhood he was raised to be able to do. And we wound up having to use this because he did go after the monster but was attacked and badly harmed during it. So he wanted to make sure that, he can kind of get over the horror of what he went through. And we needed to find, using these clues, what would let us create those elixirs. So we had this one, we had Baylock's to aid in memory. And this one we have different pictures. The only one that we had that we knew of at the time was this one here, which is Eyebright. And we had to find the other ones based on the picture. So we had to match those up. So for example, with this one, we saw that this plant right here matches this one in the middle. So even though we don't know what the plant is yet, we were able to figure out what it was based on the picture alone. And then this is the one we haven't done yet. So we did have these. This one we have to find based on the 3 Latin names. So I do have those written down, which ones I need, but I haven't needed to create it yet. So that's coming next. I only have 2 of the 3 plants that I need for that one. So yeah, so I have one more elixir to make, and that will be all 4 of these that we'll have. And then we have a handful of plants to do as well. And then we also have been talking about, in some of these, we have choices that we can make that will alter the end of the game. So I've written down like which days have an alternate path to take. And when we did Strange Antiquities, we wound up doing a second playthrough, taking all of basically the evil options. So to try to get the most evil outcome we could. So we'll probably do that at some point too. But we're gonna finish up the game today, and then if we'll do another playthrough, it will be sometime another weekend. But yeah. I do have ads about to start. I did pause them so we could kind of go through all of that. So I do hope you guys will stick around after the ads as well. And once we are back from ads, I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the game. We have at least 4 more days in the game to discover what's going on. And then there is also an epilogue where we find any of the remaining plants that we haven't already discovered. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to let the ads go through. Feel free to take a break, get up, stretch, take a bathroom break, do whatever you need to do. And we'll be back in about 3 minutes. All right, so see you all in a few minutes. All right. As we're waiting, I won't go ahead. I will not continue the game. This way, anyone who is stuck in ads will have a chance to make sure they see everything. So I'm actually going to take a little stretch break myself, and I will be back when ads are over. See you all in a couple minutes. right, we got about 10 seconds left for ads, and then we'll be ready to pick up again. Hopefully everyone had a good stretch, got themselves something to drink, and we are back. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna exit out of my little alchemy lab, and we had a letter. So he said, I've lived in Undermere all my life, and I've never seen the people as worried as they are now. Everyone's talking about the sisterhood and the servant. Somebody needs to do something to stop that beast. All right. I was speaking to a woman from Arnside who told me of a cave nearby that the locals stay away from. Apparently, there's a strange plant that grows there, but the cave is believed to be haunted. Unfortunately, she was vague about where the cave was. Somewhere to the east was all she would say when I pressed her. Warmest regards, Amos Duncan. Okay, so they were in Arnside, and there's a cave nearby. So if I click on this one, the wheel to explore, I'll be able to look at my map. Here's Arnside, and then here's the White Scar Cave. Did it say to the east? Okay, no, that's this one. There we go. Somewhere to the east was all she would say. So yeah, White Scar Cave is to the east. Let's go ahead and see what happens when we go there. A thin crack runs down the rock face, widening as it nears the ground, just wide enough for a man to slip through. But there's a problem. A large boulder blocks the entrance, too heavy to move. So I need some farmer's worry, which is this one here. We found that out because there was someone who, her husband wound up picking a lot of these and got sick. All right, so farmer's worry. We've collected some plant entries. I'm surprised at how easily I'm able to roll away the boulder with the help of the farmer's worry. As my eyes adjust to the darkness, I discover several clusters of fungi growing there, reaching out desperately to the thin strip of light provided by the crack. Okay, so we've got a couple of these here, and then we have some new plants as well. And so 2 more sets of mushrooms. All right, those are pretty cool. Let me go ahead. I'm going to change this one now that we have that confirmed. I'm going to change that to yellow. I like how each customer builds the story. Yeah, I mean, even the ones that seem kind of, like they don't really have a whole lot to do with the story, you find out that they actually really do. All right, so I have these. Can I move? Yeah, let's see if I can squeeze these all in. That'll work. All right, so we can put this one here. This one we finished, that could go there. And then this one can go back in here. Let's go ahead, pet Hellebore, because if we ring the bell without petting him, it'll startle him. Here's our friend Simone. I haven't forgiven you from whatever it was you gave me the other day. I should have destroyed that elixir recipe when I had the chance. Whatever happens, you must not allow it to fall into the wrong hands. Okay, so we had found out that she was not quite lying to us, but that she knew something that she wasn't telling us about how to destroy this creature. So we gave her a plant instead of what she asked for that would make her tell us the truth. And she told us that there is this elixir. She didn't want us to know about this, probably because this could potentially make things even worse. But yeah, that was one of the choices we could have made, to not take that instead. All right. Alden Gregory. My wife of 30 years is dying. That is the truth of it, as painful as it is to say out loud. The doctors say there's nothing they can do, but I cannot sit by and wait for it to happen. A man at the hospice let slip about a plant-based elixir. I don't think he meant for me to hear it, but I did, and it's all I can think about. I understand the risks, but any price is worth paying if it means she doesn't have to die. Please, I'm begging you. So he wants the elixir of the damned, which is this one here. So it's made from a combination of Arbutum elicridis, Maculosis retintentia, and Mens fortis. This powerful elixir is dangerous and extreme caution is advised. It's said to bring a person back from the brink of death, but at the expense of their soul. Those who have drunk it appear vacant and lost, alive, but no longer really with us. So I can understand just how, horrified he feels at, losing his wife. But at the same time, that is no way at all to live. Um, and I think if he knew what it really did, he wouldn't want it. Unfortunately, I don't have the option to tell him what it really does. I can only make it and give it to him. So this one I had already gone through and I found the names that I need. So the first one, the Arbutum alacridis, is Cabelia, which is it one of the red flowers? Cabelia is this one here. So Cabelia, Henchuck. I'm not sure I have Henchuck right yet. And Duranthium. That's Elderfinium. Let me go ahead and open up my book. So Duranthium has these sharp leaves. That's candlewood. Duranthium, this one. Okay, so Duranthium is the last one. And then Henchuck is one that I have an entry for, but I do not have labeled yet. So I have to go ahead and look at what I have here and see if I can figure it out. It sounds like his wife would be an empty shell. And Garris, that's exactly what it's going to be. It's at the loss of your soul. It basically takes everything living out of her and you are just a shell of a creature left. So you're there physically, but that's it. All right, henchuck. The fruit of the henchuck can have a startling effect on memory. Even a small dose can result in short-term memory loss. But in larger amounts, it's been known to cause severe amnesia. The tuberous bulb has an unusual structure, growing in bursts that give it a striped appearance when cut open. When the outer layer hardens, it turns blue-green and it's ready to harvest. I'm thinking it might be this one here. The bulb is quite firm and turquoise, so blue-green is turquoise. The orange fruits have no noticeable odor. So it is a bulb. It doesn't say anything about fruits, but the bulb is correct. The color is correct. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a try. Okay, and that one was correct then. So here's my new elixir. This is the elixir of the damned. The other ones should have gone back to where they belong. This one has not. This one can go here. This one is now figured out, so I can actually bring this one all the way over here. We were kind of trying to keep some of the plants together. Kind of trying to keep them somewhat organized by color. So let's go ahead. I'm going to label this one. This is our elixir of the damned. And we are unfortunately going to give it to him, and yeah. Alright, so we did get a few new plants for that, or new entries anyway. We have a few plants left. There's all of our elixirs. Oh, thank you, JJ, for pinning our Discord server. Yeah, so for anyone who is still stuck around, please make sure you join our Discord. You can recommend games to play there, find out anytime I've uploaded or gone live, and it is open to anyone, so you don't have to be a subscriber to join. Everyone is welcome. Alright, so there are 4 elixirs. I feel really bad for his wife. I mean, I feel bad for him too. I mean, if Angaris were getting ready to leave me, I'd, be upset too, but not to do that. Althea O'Shea, what a delightful shop you have. I'm only in town for a brief visit, but I heard I might be able to get hold of some liverstone here. All right, liverstone. Okay, let's take a look. Liverstone. Caution is advised when handling this plant due to the strong paralyzing agents contained within. Liverstone is a mushroom with pointed caps. Right. Come join the Chaos Kitties. We have chocolate cookies. We sure do. And Angaris makes some mean peanut butter cookies. All right, dark and imposing, strange. My fingertips feel slightly numbed. Okay, so this is it then. Dark side chocolate, exactly. All right, pronounced tomb. This flower is sometimes associated with death. Tomb is used as fragrance in soaps and candles. All right. Let's go ahead. Ah, she's back again. I can't control it anymore. This has all gone too far. I never meant for it to turn on my sisters. It's too strong. I'm trying to hold it back, but it wants to kill. That's all it wants. Death, death, and more death. You have to help me. Okay, I can give her Widow's Woe or Dead Man's Fingers. Let's go see what each one is. I'm also going to mark this in our notes too. So day 15 gives us another possibility to switch options. So day 15, this is the woman in the jade mask, and we can give either Widow's Woe or Dead Man's Fingers. Now I know we don't have Dead Man's Fingers just yet. We might be able to go find them. I don't think we have... Now, I know we have the entry for Dead Man's Fingers, but I know we don't have them because those are the mushrooms that actually literally do look like fingers. And this could look like it, but Dead Man's Fingers are actually like a real plant, and they look very different. They're actually really frightening. If you do come across them, like, out in the wild, they really do look like fingers. I don't know if you saw it as you got rated at the same time, but I did put the Jaffa Cake advert into the general chat. Oh, okay, cool. All right, thank you. I did miss that. Widow's Woe. Oh, okay, and this is one we need to identify anyway. It's said to induce fear, also called Kempfoot, partly due to its unpleasant scent. The dainty flowers grew up from a bed of long, thin leaves. So... all right, here's one with long, thin leaves. This one, though, has dainty flowers. It has an unpleasant scent, though. Dark purple flowers. What about this one? An overpowering, sickly sweet scent. Sickly sweet isn't, I mean, could be unpleasant, but it doesn't have the right shape of those. This one, maybe? Somewhat damp smell, dark red flowers. Okay, this is likely it, and that would be, I have that it's marked 1 of 5. Widow's Woe is one of them that we do need for the last elixir. So this would be right. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to change this. I still don't know exactly what it is, but I'm going to put this as Widow's Woe. All right, so this one will induce fear. All right, what will Dead Man's Fingers do? A fungus typically found in dense forests protruding through mulch. At a glance, it can appear as though a corpse is reaching up from the undergrowth, said to strengthen resolve and sharpen the mind. This is one I want. This is what I'd like to give her, but I don't have a clue as to where it goes, or like where I would get it from. Found in dense forest protruding through mulch. Let's go ahead and take a look. I mean, right now, since we don't have an exact clue for it, the best we can do is just go searching. Um, and if we don't find it, the worst that's going to happen is we're going to increase our rising dread. So that's really not a big problem. But if I look in this, let's go ahead. Oh, I want to go to this one here. So, found in dense forests protruding through the mulch. So let's look at spots where we have dense forest. Um, we might be able to find it in Greasdale because that is where the sisterhood is from. Um, we might find it out here from Undermere. Other spots that are dense forest would be here and here. There's all of this here as well. Let's see. It also talks about mulch though. I guess mulch would likely be more from pine trees, I would think. Let me just go ahead. I'm going to go back and see if I have any clues that I haven't done yet. This is about the Woken Dendrew. And that's in Blackcomb. This one again tells us about it. Said that the dead ground northeast of T-Bay. Ah. Digitalis mortis. Is that... Hold on. Digitalis mortis should be the dead man's fingers, right? Okay. Ah, I do have it then. The dead ground northeast of T-Bay. So northeast of T-Bay. Let's go look there. Here's T-Bay. Northeast would be right here. Interestingly, there's no like identification here otherwise, but that is the clue we had. A wide area of blackened ground here is known by the locals as Dead Man's Field. Dark mushrooms protrude from the soil like fingers reaching out from the grave. And yeah, take a look at that. That really does look very much like fingers. And let me actually do this real quick. I have seen pictures of these. Let's see. Let's... All right, let me pull this one over. Let's see. Can I? Oh, let me do this. Okay, so here's pictures of Dead Man's fingers. So they really can look like hands creeping up from the ground. Yeah, oh, it could look like something else too. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, if you look at that, it does look like a hand, and they come lighter at the top, so it almost does look like lighter nails. Or they wind up having that like look like dead hands where everything is like withered and black. It is extremely creepy. This is not something that I would want to run across, you know, while out and about. All right. But by giving her the dead man's fingers, it will sharpen her resolve, and it seems like she actually wants to stop it. So that's what I'm going to give her. I'm going to give her the dead man's fingers and hope that she'll be able to help stop it. All right. So let's move this one over here. That adds yet another one of those. And I now have this one completed because it did have a clue that I just didn't catch on to at the time. And I love when that happens, when I go back and I'm like, oh, that's a clue I missed. There's been talk over the last few nights down the Royal Oak of a servant creature going around slaughtering people. I used to enjoy walking in the hills, but I daren't leave my house now. I've decided to bring nature to me in the meantime. The glow of a few pixie lamps would surely warm my heart. So they want glowhorn. I'm thinking it's that one. Glowhorn. Glowhorn or forest lantern? Yes. So I think that's this one. It's the only one I have that's phosphorescent. So, all right. There is that. And penny bell. Ooh, okay. This one also has other names, so I'm gonna change that one to the red tag and put the other names in. So glowhorn, forest lantern, or pixie lamp. And I like doing that because occasionally people will come in looking for a certain plant by a different name. And if I know it already has a different name, I know to go look for those red tags. And then I could find those through that much easier. Face Swift. I understand it now. My mind is linked to the servant. With the elixir, I'll be able to throw out the woman in the jade mask and take control for myself. Together we can end this. Meet me at the Daughter's Stone Circle tomorrow and bring the elixir. Okay, so I could potentially give Faye the elixir of control, which would let her try to take it. Now remember, she was having terrible nightmares, and we gave her the opportunity to shield herself instead of kind of fall into understanding what they meant. Um, so this is interesting. So we can either give her the elixir, or we'll have to see what else happens, because we did have the plants as well to try to bind it. As well as we just tried to help the woman in the jade mask try to take control back from it as well. All right, let's see what we have. Our next clue is to the east of the castle across the river and through the mountain pass, it grows at the edge of the wood. And then our new thing is she finally had the power she had craved all these years, a servant to do as she willed, but that power came at a cost. The servant was awoken, and it would not be contained. It was the Dendru, the dread. It was death. So now we have one more, but I'm going to go ahead. I want to read through all of these again, just to like really pull the story all together, because it has been 3 hours that we've been streaming, as well as everything from yesterday. So let's just kind of get the whole story together. It started when she found something she was not meant to find, a book tucked away in a forgotten corner of the Ambleside Library. The book both fascinated and terrified her in equal measure, and after studying it for some time, she reached a decision. She would never use the power she had discovered. She would hide the book where it could never be found. Time passed, a year and then another. The book remained hidden, but out of sight did not mean out of mind. The book was what her thoughts settled on when she rested, what she brooded over when she did her chores, what she pictured when she dreamed. At 15, her mother, strong, dependable, loving, was struck down by typhoid. The girl drew inward as her father turned to drink. Not long after the girl left home, her father wept, but he was so caught up in his own grief that he let her go and did not look for her. Before she left, she returned to her hiding place and carefully retrieved the book, her excitement building as she did. She couldn't articulate what was so alluring to her about the book, but by now it had become an obsession. At first she felt free, but it wasn't long before the reality of her situation began to take its toll. She stole food when she was hungry and slept in makeshift shelters, not knowing where she was going, not caring. Eventually, she made her way to Griesdale Forest. A young woman alone in the world, she was taken in by the sisterhood and given a home. It was a chance for redemption, a new start. Every day she attentively followed the teachings of the Arda. Every day she patiently performed the tasks given to her. Every day thoughts of the book itched away at the back of her mind. In time she learned that the sisterhood had secrets. Or had she always known that? Had she come to them by chance, or had she sought them out deliberately? She wasn't sure. But by now she knew what she wanted, and she would do anything to get it. When her chance finally came, she didn't hesitate, even for a moment. Afterwards, when the Arda was dead, she felt only elation. Years after she had first laid eyes on the book, she had what she needed. Equipped with the Arda's knowledge, she journeyed west to the Stone Circle. Unknown to her, she was not alone as she made her preparations. The shepherd watched as she prepared the leaves and roots that she would require. He watched as the hours dragged by, the sun set, and she worked by candlelight, at times sitting still, at times moving like a dancer among the stones. The change happened suddenly, but also subtly, so that at first the watcher wasn't sure that anything had happened. Then he saw it. Behind the woman, a dark skeletal figure began to rise, and a low primal snarl sounded across the clearing. The shepherd turned and ran, cold fear coursing through his veins. He did not run for long. She finally had the power she had craved all these years, a servant to do as she willed, but that power came at a cost. The servant was awoken, and it would not be contained. It was the Dendru, the dread. It was death. All right, so we do know that there is a group called the Seeds of Redemption that wanted this to happen, as well as wanted to basically destroy everyone so that only those who are among the faithful would stay alive. All right, so now we have this. To the east of the castle, across the river, and through the mountain pass, it grows at the edge of the wood. Let's go ahead, let's bring that one up here. So, to the east of the castle, we have Ergamot Castle. We have... Do we have any other castles? Because there's not across the river here, so it's got to be something else. Kirkhead Tower. Oh, Gleaston Castle here, okay. East of the castle, across the river, and through a mountain pass. It grows at the edge of the wood. So, there is a river, but not a mountain pass here. So, we need to look for another one. Here's Munster Castle. Could be this one. Across the river, okay. It grows at the edge of the wood after a mountain pass. So, this would be east, and it could be right here. It doesn't say to go south, but... Let's see. Are there any other castles? We saw this one. Sizer Castle. Okay, this one does have east across a river. There are mountains here and then woods. So let's try this one. Okay, good. That one was what we needed. It stayed straight to the east. The trees sway effortlessly in the cool breeze. The low hum of crickets chirping rides the wind. A sense of calm washes over me, and I'm rewarded with a new find. Ooh, oh, I already know what this one is. This is the swift snare we needed. And I can tell that that's it because check this out. It's already breaking through this, and you can see it curling, trying to grab. So this one is definitely our swift snare. Just because it's how I've been going with it, I'm going to write it in the purple one. until I do have it confirmed. But yeah, that's definitely our swift snare. So we do have that one now. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna mark we have that. We have Widow's Woe. Okay, I think we have those. Do we have Devil's Nightcap already as well? No, we don't have Devil's Nightcap yet. Not marked anyway. That's our Corpse's Friend one. Oh, has a light pleasant scent, not dissimilar to pine needles. Is that this one? Yes, and that actually makes sense because we did find that one on the corpse. So let's actually go ahead and mark this one in purple too. This should probably be a Devil's Nightcap. Okay. I know I have Swift Snare, Widow's Woe. That was this one. Okay, so Widow's Woe, Swift Snare, Long Veracund, and Elderfinium. I know Elderfinium is over here. That's this one. Did we have Long Veracund? I want to say we did. We did. And that is believed to lift curses. Leaves grow in small pairs along the stem. Let's see. Is this one? Yeah, okay, so that's that one. So now we do have all of those. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring these over this way since I know. Take this one, Elderfinium, I'm going to put here. And then I'm going to move the rest of these down here for now and put these up here because these I think are what we need for to stop the creature. Would never have figured that. You know, I only really realized that when I remember it saying it smelled like pine needles, because I like the smell of pine needles. And then as soon as I read that, it was like, oh, Corpse's Friend. That does make sense because it was the one that was growing out of the corpse. So it's one of those, like, it triggered that memory. Let's see. We are very close to the end, though, so let's see how it goes. Verona is back. It is time. The servant is on the move again. Time to act. Meet me at the ritual site. I hope for all of our sakes you've been able to track down the plans we need, and I have. All right, I have a decision to make. Do I meet Faye Swift, or do I follow Verona to perform the ritual? So I'm going to put this one down. This is our last one at day 16. We can either go with Faye or Verona. And I'm going to go with Verona just because we've really been working with her a lot. So where did she want us to go again? The servant is on the moon. Okay, so this means we need to go to the tree. So if I come through here again, I can take out this, and this shows me where the great oak is. So this is where I want to go. I want to go here and meet her to take care of this. Okay. Or is it not here? Okay, where was I meeting Verona then? Meet me at the ritual site. The ritual site, okay, then I guess it wasn't there. The Woken Denture is loyal to the master. The site of ritual importance was created near Blackcomb, south of the Watcher, the Great Oak. Okay, so it's not that, it's the Stone Circle? Has no known vulnerabilities, but that doesn't mean it can't be defeated. Hundreds of years ago, a site of ritual importance was created near Blackcomb to the south of the Watcher. Okay. The Great Oak. Oh, okay, so hold on. If I look at this again, where is my... Okay, so if I come over here, so here's the Watcher, the Great Oak, and I need to go to the south of it, it says. The ritual importance was created near Black Combe to the south of the Watcher, the Great Oak. Okay, so that's right here. The Great Oak is there. And the Danger was ousted. Okay, so it's likely this little clearing right here in the woods. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put these back again. And then my will to explore is now full again. So if I go here, this should be where our ritual site is. Okay, a small stone shrine sits off to one side of the clearing. 5 grooves run out from the center stone, widening into recesses at the base. 5 slots for 5 plants. Okay. Now, it doesn't say which one is one, but I'm going to say one is probably going to start at the top. So, first is the corpse's friend, so Devil's Nightcap. Swift Snare is the ankle binder. Widow's Woe is the fear bringer. Long Veracund is to lift a curse. And the last petal, Elder Finium, is to be Black Blood's reverse. Well done. I will take it from here. I stand back and watch as Verona walks around the shrine, muttering soft incantations. It feels like a long time passes before she looks up, but in reality, it was perhaps only 10 minutes. Nothing's happening. What do you mean, nothing's happening? Have we got the right plans? I think so. Perhaps we just need to be patient. A loud noise behind us makes us all jump. Turning around, I see something that makes my blood run cold. The woman in the jade mask is walking calmly and slowly toward us from the center of the clearing. Behind her, standing tall and terrifying, is the black silhouette of the servant. Ooh, that's horrifying looking. Look at those teeth. Eee. What was that about being patient? I think we're out of time. Do not be afraid. I'm here to surrender willingly. The servant cannot be allowed to... The creature lunges forward and brings a huge arm scything toward her. Her scream pierces the cold air and she drops to her knees, clutching her head. But the blow seems to glance off to one side as it comes hurtling down, and the beast's claw ends up embedded in the dirt instead of the woman's back. I can't hold it back much longer. You need this. She throws a small vial of red liquid, which Reuben deftly catches and holds up to the light. Blood. Quickly, I know what to do. Verona grabs the vial and fumbles to get the stopper out as she turns back to the shrine. The servant has its huge arm free again and is slowly advancing with strange, jerking movements. Verona pours the blood into a small cavity in the shrine, and everything seems to happen at once. A pillar of bright white light launches out of the shrine toward the servant and hits it in the chest. The huge beast shrieks and staggers backwards, drowning out the screams of the woman in the jade mask, who is clutching her head and writhing in agony on the ground. There's an almighty thunderclap and a blinding flash of light, and suddenly the servant is gone. A patch of charred ground smolders where it stood moments before. My head is spinning at what has just happened. Did it work? Have we defeated the servant? Friday. With the dust settled and the servant vanquished, I've been able to reflect on the events of the last few weeks. We were fortunate that Thea was able to stay in control of the beast for as long as she did. Who can say what would have happened if she was unable to prevent it, causing the destruction it craved? Undermere has never felt so jubilant, so full of life. All the nervous tension that had built up evaporated in an instant, and the people have plowed their energies into celebration and merriment. They do not know the whole truth, of course, that Thea, the woman in the jade mask, was the one who summoned the servant. I promised Reuben that I would leave it to him to unravel that mess. She is his daughter, after all. So Reuben is the one who was drinking, who is trying to solve this puzzle. And as for myself, well, I'm back in the calm of Strange Horticulture, of course, with Hellebore for company. It's quieter around here, but I'm content, and there are always more plants to learn about and discover. The Sleeping Dendrew. It is done. The servant can go back to being a dark story for dusty shelves. The end. Ending number 2, Elderfinium. So we had ending number 2. Reuben is alive. He is the investigator. He is attempting to reconnect with his daughter. Verona is alive. She's the occult scholar. She regularly visits you for advice, and you've become friends. Bethany Coleman, the sister, is deceased. She was killed by the servant. Faye Swift, she's the psychic. She is still alive. She hasn't dreamt of the servant since you performed the ritual. I have a feeling if we had given her the elixir, we probably could have had 2 different endings from that. One ending would have been with this one we shielded her, and another ending would have been if we had originally amplified her nightmares. So that's interesting. Enos Alford is in hiding. He was the cultist. He hasn't been seen since the defeat of the servant. There are rumors he's living in Rydell Cave once again. Forrest Vare, the hunter, was wounded. Both his body and his pride have been damaged, but he lives. Thea Ward is in hiding. She's the woman in the jade mask. Ashamed of her actions that caused so much pain and death, it's unlikely she'll ever fully recover from the trauma. Isidore Burbage, the jerk, is alive. He is currently pursuing legal action against Strange Horticulture. We need an ending where I get to poison him. So I'm just going to mark this down. This is ending 2. This is the Elderfinium end. All right. I wonder how many endings there are. I'd have to look that one up. So, yeah. Are any of you thinking you'd want to go and play this one? Because this has been a really fantastic game. Oh, right, that's right. We have 20 plants left to identify, for sure. So now we have all of these. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna run ads real quick instead of letting them go in like 5 more minutes. And then we'll be able to do that without having to stop for ads. So I'm gonna let that go, and I will be right back. right, so we have about 45 more seconds of ads, and then we'll go ahead and continue. Um, Angaris did just tell me there are a total of 8 endings. Oh, well, we're in watch. Okay, watch the advert. All right, let me go ahead and go look that up. Let's see. You know, I'll go ahead and let's see if I can actually do this. I'll play it for everyone.
Good morning, children.
Good morning, Miss.
Full moon.
Full moon.
Half moon.
Half moon.
Total eclipse.
Total eclipse.
Good. Now, let's do it one more time. Full moon.
Full moon.
McVitie's Jaffa Cakes, deliciously self-centered.
All right, yeah, that is funny to go along with the to go along with those. A 2-bite cake though, that's something. Alrighty, let's go ahead, and we are back from ads, so let's go ahead. Have you heard of the Monastery of the Black Veil? I think it would interest you. I learned of it from a man from Ravenglass. If you're ever in that part of the world, you should ask him about it. He owns the Horseshoe Inn on Main Street. Alright, so we need to go to Ravensglass. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's move this way for right now. Ravensglass. Where did I say? Okay, right over here. Let's go to Ravensglass. I'm met by a man with a thick black beard and kind eyes who's delighted to have found a willing ear to listen to his stories. You won't find the Monastery of the Black Veil marked on any map. They don't want to be found. The monastery was on the edge of a wood. I remember that much. We must have been heading west because I could feel the sun on my face, and it was evening. We crossed 2 rivers. Then we followed a river for a while, and I could hear it to my left as we traveled. They left me here in Ravensglass, and I've stayed ever since. As I turn to leave, he adds, "Here, if you're serious about going, you had better have this." All right, so let me look at this real quick. Let's see. He's in Ravensglass now, which is right here. It was on the edge of a wood. They were heading west, so if I turn back and go east and cross 2 rivers to the east, it's somewhere over here. So cross 2 rivers and then followed it for a while. Okay. Let's see what we've got. All right. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put this in my archive. I can put this in the archive. I can put that in my archive, I think. The Elixir of the Black Veil. Alright, so this tells me how to get there. The Elixir of the Black Veil is a leaf of Storian, a dark flower of tomb, and the stench of twilight. Alright. No seed will grow that does not wither. No water will languish upon the river. No man will be lost, forever hail. We will wear the blackened veil. Alright, so Mystery of the Black Veil. Okay, they didn't want to be found. The monastery was on the edge of a wood. I remember that much. We must have been heading west because I could feel the sun on my face and it was evening. Okay, so Ravensglass, we definitely want to go east. We crossed 2 rivers, then followed a river for a while. I could hear it to my left as we traveled. They left me here in Ravensglass, and I've stayed ever since. So 2 of them would have been this way. If he was traveling west, this river would have been to the left. So they followed this river for a while. but the edge of a wood. So they're likely about here. The monastery was on the edge of a wood. So they crossed 2 rivers and then followed it south. I'm going to think here. Let's see. 2 rivers and then followed us south. If it's not here, I'm going to think it's here, because that would give it a little longer to travel south. Okay. 3 figures, their faces hidden behind black coverings, come out to meet me. The figure on the left speaks first. The monks of the Black Veil know the horticulturalist. Then one in the center of the group adds, they will share their knowledge if they receive the payment. The final member of the trio stays silent. Elixir of the Black Veil. Okay. So let's see. I need a leaf of Storian. Oh, nope, not this one. I can put this one away. I want this right now. So I need a leaf of Storian. The dark red fruit should not be ingested under any circumstances, as they are highly poisonous, resulting in insanity and then death. A cross-section of the stem shows the triple xylem and phloem of the Storian. Alright, so Storian has dark red fruits. I'm going to say it is likely this one, because that has dark red fruit. That's the only one I have that has dark red fruit right now. So let's see. It looks for right now I need to leave, but I can come back to that. So let's go here. I need a leaf of Storian, dark flower of Tomb, pronounced tomb. This flower is sometimes associated with death. Tomb is used as a fragrance in soaps and candles. I think this one is somewhat pungent. Okay, no, they grow paired. This grows staggered. So has a fresh, pleasant aroma. Okay. That one was used. What are my other? Not Balox. Not Elixir of Control. Elixir of. Where's the Elixir of the Damned? This one. Okay. Okay, so, Okay, maybe not that one. Let's see. I have a feeling Elixir of the Damned is one that is about death. Which one? Hen's Chuck. But that's not that one. So okay, so it's not this one. It's one of these that it likely is. So I'm gonna say it's quite possibly this one. It has a pleasant, fresh aroma. So yeah, I'm gonna, all right. Dark flower, oh, dark flower of Tomb. So hold on, that does have dark flowers. This one also has dark flowers. Dark blue flowers, smells sweet like rhubarb. Okay, this one has, they're not fully staggered. I'm gonna say it's probably this one. And then stench of the twilight. So one that smells. Let's see. I guess let's just take a look at each of these. Bland smelling. An acerbic odor. Let's try it. Maybe. Okay, so no. I'm sure that one is Storian. Let's see then. Let's look through our other ones and see what we don't have that might have a stench. I mean, well then again, hold on, because it could be one we already have as well. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're all okay. Let's see. I have a feeling it's not one we've already done, but let's take a close look. Known in the north as Andrew's Bane, the unfortunate demise of a man called Andrew Jardine. He was caught and slowly eaten alive by a large specimen of the Tauren. Revered in the occult world, the cross-section of the Tauren reveals pentagonal symmetry. Okay, not what we need. Alright, let's see. Evulum, okay. The scent produced is considered overpowering by some, but it's said to stimulate the senses and rejuvenate aching bones. Okay, no. Haverage. Pretty blue flowers line the stem of this sought-after plant. It is said that if you give haverage to your beloved under the light of a full moon, you'll live long, blessed lives. Okay, not that one then. Lesser Meridoc. The round flower head of this Meridoc is made up by small yellow florets. A single drop of the strong-smelling sap from this plant can utterly drain a person's mental faculties, rendering them slow and uncomprehending. Meekdew. The beautiful flowers made up of many smaller florets make this a sought-after decorative plant, though it is difficult to care for. It may be a pleasant-looking plant, but touching the leaves against bare skin will result in painful sores. Okay. Paliance. Most plants offer a small improvement to air quality, but Paliance is in a class of its own. It is sometimes called sweet breath thanks to the freshness of the air within its vicinity. The many short leaves of this plant is thought to help filter toxins from the surrounding air. I want to say it might be that one is Paliance. Somewhat pungent. I mean, pungent doesn't necessarily mean bad, though. Okay. Maybe not that, though. What about this one? Oh, this one might be Paliance. Yeah. I'm going to say that one's probably our Paliance. Okay. Pennybell. The leaves of the pennybell are chewed by some for their hallucinogenic properties. Pungent means strong smelling, good or bad. Yeah, exactly. So pungent can mean either, but that one specifically does say pleasant. So let's see. Pennybell. The leaves of the pennybell are chewed by some for their hallucinogenic properties. However, it's highly addictive and could lead to sickness and death. I want to say that's this one. Bell-like flowers, yeah. And heart-shaped leaves. That does fit that. I'm going to say this one just might be our penny bell. Priddle. Coveted by the rich, pretty priddle is crushed to make dyes. This is a very rare plant that is hard to come by and requires great care to cultivate. That one looks like it might be this one. Purple flowers with a gentle scent. That does have the right look to it. Let's go ahead. I'm going to put this one here. This might be priddle. Sour Bandy. Sour Bandy can help with memory recovery, especially if memory has been deliberately sabotaged. If you see it over here, it's a bad thing smell. Yeah, usually pungent does mean bad, but like, yeah, mostly it just means it's an extremely strong smell. So yeah, bad is usually what I associate it with too, though. The name of this plant derives from the fact that although edible, the large stamen is extremely bitter to the taste. All right, so this is likely Sour Bandy. See, I think what I should have been doing from the start is go ahead and like look through the ones I don't have and try to name them. So spring wax cap is an edible mushroom with some mild medicinal properties. When dried and eaten, it can help relieve pain. So this looks about right. Let's see. Waxy reddish caps. Well, it does say wax cap, so this is likely wax cap. Right? Isn't it funny how things change depending on which side of the Atlantic you're on? All right, so I'm pretty sure this is Storian. Tomb. Sometimes associated with death. But smells like sweet rhubarb. I'm gonna keep this here. I think that's Tomb. Oh, Twilight. Stench of the Twilight. In the twilight where shadows grow, take leaf and root, an eye of crow, a plant to gloom and despair and dark magic. Don't be fooled by the pretty flower. The smell it gives off is quite foul. Okay, so that seems to match. So let's go ahead, let's try this. All right, there we go. So that identifies 3 plants for us, as well as gives us the elixir. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to mark my elixir here. This is Elixir of the Black Veil. Of the Black Veil. Okay. That also means Storian, Tomb, and Twilight are correct. Okay, those are all those. Okay, so let me go ahead. I know these is definitely Swift Snare because we did use that. That is Devil's Nightcap. This is Widow's Woe. Okay. Oh, I know why it didn't do that. So hold on. Where are... This way. Right? No. Where's my other... Where did it go? Let's see. They pulled it back out. So, oh, here it is. They already labeled it for me. So Tomb, Twilight, Lepiota, and Storian. Okay. Let me go ahead then, and I can head back over here. This is where, yeah. So I can go ahead and I can give this to them now. The third member of the trio accepts the elixir, and together they disappear into the monastery. Sometime later, they return with a stack of parchment. So I have 4 new entries. Archive that. I can archive this, and I can then archive this. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so I have a lot of new ones. Okay, nice. All right. I can go back this way. Guess let's see what else happens here. All right, Simone is back. It's good to see you too, Hellebore. It's been a while. You seem relaxed as ever, though. Nothing ever phases you, does it? I must admit, I've been buried in my books and seem to have missed all the excitement. I hear you and your plants had quite a part to play, though. I've been collating some information together on a selection of plants for a little book I'm putting together. I was hoping you can help me finish identifying all these plants. Let's start with the moonlight flower, Belinox. I've always loved that one. Okay, real quick, before I do that, let me start putting these back, because I know we were doing such a nice job of keeping everything kind of color coordinated over here. So let's go ahead and kind of put some of these over here. This one I think I will move over to here. Let's see, this one, now that is a red one, but I'm gonna put that over on this side with the orange, because it is both red and yellow. Let's see, so these ones we don't have confirmed. This one is confirmed. Swift Snare I'm going to put over here with all of mine that are just like woody plants. This can go this way. This is like a blue purple, and this is more of a pink. So this one can go over here. I'm going to put that with this one. And again, we kind of, there's like so many. I wish I had a little bit more space. All right, so I've got all those. Let's see, this one is more pink. Where did that one go? And this one is a dark bluish. I'm gonna put that one over here. And then the pink one, I'll put up here for now, because we have some of those that go together. And then I'll keep my can all the way over here. And then I'll just keep all my fungus this way. And then woody plants over here. I will put these up here for now. There we go. All right, so let's see. We need to find Belinox. All right, the moonlight flower, dark and mysterious and beautiful, has enchanted people for centuries. It's thought to send people mad with obsessive desires, seductively alluring them to their deaths like a siren's call. I think it is this one. I'm gonna say it's this one. Flower pattern matches. Okay. Yeah, I would actually like this. The clue section, yeah, when we had all the different puzzle pieces for this, that's where they went. Let's go ahead and put that one over here. That is one I'd absolutely have those in my house. All right, spring wax cap. That was this one. Okay, that is identified. Let's go ahead and make that yellow then. Average. I think we used that for something, didn't we? Oh, pretty blue flowers, lines this plant? That's this one, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Let's put that one over here. That one will go right there. That looks good. Fool's Midnight. Fool's Midnight. I like the name of that one. Alright, Fool's Midnight. Used by some as an aphrodisiac, though the potent sulfuric aroma is enough to put off most. This dark mushroom has a fleshy underbelly, said to have a unique, sharp taste to those brave enough to try it. That has got to be this one. Smells rotten. Yep. Alright. What's next? Demel. This unremarkable flower is related to the common thistle. Its leaves are occasionally brewed into a tea that's used to calm anxiety. Let's see, that would be this one, I'm thinking. Bland smelling flower. Does look a lot like thistle too. Alright, excellent. That one can go over here with these. There we go. Lesser Meridoc, that is this one. Alright, perfect. And I can go ahead, I can make this one yellow now too. Umbrella. Umbrella, the powerful balm against diseases of the heart. It will not be a cure once illness has set in, but it can ease pain and prolong life. Umbrella has long rounded leaves and a flower that smells like strawberries. Let's see, could possibly be that one, but I don't think it is. It doesn't quite, well, maybe it does, hold on. The flowers are very delicate, the petals fall easily. Long rounded, nope, they're not rounded. This one, no, that's that one. Long round, oh, this one maybe. Yep, like a strawberry dipped in honey. So that's Umbrella. Okay. Evolum. The scent it produces is considered overpowering by some, but it's said to stimulate the senses and rejuvenate aching bones. Okay, pungent indeed. So overpowering, pungent, that's that one. Alrighty. Let's go ahead. I'm going to bring this one over this way. Pennybell. Oh, that one was this one? Yeah, we thought it was that. Okay, so Pennybell we have. Let's go ahead, change that one over to yellow. Birdum. Thick birdum leaves make tasty additions to soups and stews. This one, I think. Superstitious folk won't allow birdum into their homes. It's believed to bring bad luck. Leaves are strong and leathery. The leaves match. They said don't use only this, but I think a lot of times this has really helped. Poliscus. Poliscus flower is crushed into a paste to cure coughs and sore throats. This author can attest that the supposed cure does not work. That looks similar to this one. Okay, nice. Aguria, that was this one. Okay, yeah, we had that one identified early on, because it was one we could either, it was an and or kind of thing. So we did have that one identified. Sour Bandy, we were pretty sure is this one here. Good. And I can change that one over to yellow then. Alright, Paliance, I thought was this one. And that is right, so we can change that one over to yellow as well. Meekdew was... Oh, Meekdew I had all the way over here. Yes. And that one was right. So a lot of these we identified early on, because they were like a use this one or that one. So that's how we have a lot of these identified so far. Carnivorous tauren. I mean, I'm going to assume it's that one, but you know, you never know. Known in the north as Andrew's Bane after the unfortunate demise of a man called Andrew Jardine. He was caught and slowly eaten alive by a large specimen of the tauren. Revered in the occult world, a cross-section of the tauren stem reveals pentagonal symmetry. Alright, it's got to be this one. Alright. And then we have one more, Priddle. And that had to have been this one then. And we were right. So we've got all of them identified. And let me label that one in yellow. I know it doesn't matter at this point because it's the last one, but... Well, that seems to be all of them. You know, I think you've earned the right to call yourself an experienced horticulturalist. Alright. Well, Hellebore, I think we have earned a day off. And there we go. So that is Strange Horticulture. Definitely, if you're interested in finding out all the other endings, I would definitely say get the game. I know I recommended it strongly, just like I did Strange Antiquities. Both games are absolutely amazing. Um, I love that it all builds upon itself. And Garth had just been saying to me when we were on a break was he likes that it's a very slow burn. Like you can't fast forward through the game quickly. You actually have to take it a little bit at a time. And even though it seems like it should be kind of dull, you're just here in this shop. It actually isn't because the story just keeps building and each little bit gets you like, oh, is it going to be this or that? You know, what's going on? So I would definitely say, you know, check them out. Um, Now there are several other endings, and I know we tried that before. I think just because, you know, it did take a lot of back and forth, I think I'll say go ahead and find the endings, you know, yourself if you really want to play the game. And then tomorrow when we're back, we'll be back at 2 tomorrow. I really want to start Road to Empress. So when we do start that, you know, please make sure you let me know. Like I said, I know it's going to be a lot of pausing so that I could read the subtitles and everything else. Um, but I have started the game just to check it out. Firewolf really strongly recommended it. You know, we've known each other for a little while now, and he was like, you know, I know you're gonna love this game, and I really have loved it. I'm a little nervous about playing it on stream just because of the fact that it's all in Chinese and it does take a lot of, you know, stopping the game so that I could read the subtitles, especially since I don't want to speak over the actual voice actors. This is one of those games, though, that as I've played it, it is like watching a movie play out. It's extremely cinematic. The acting and everything else in it is just, I mean, chef's kiss. It is great. You know, I played it for a bit and I had to stop because I definitely wanted to share it with you all. Um, so that's what we'll get in with tomorrow. But again, let me know, you know, like how you find that kind of pacing too. Um, but other than that, I'm going to call it a night for now. Thank you again, Lovely, for the raid. Thank you to those who came in with the raid, especially if you're still here. I'm really glad to have you here. Thank you to everyone who came out and joined me today. Let's go ahead and see if we could find someone to raid now. Maybe someone else who's even playing Strange Horticulture. Let's see. Let's see if anyone is doing Strange Horticulture. Okay. Oh, and we have someone else here who is playing it for the first time. They only have 2 viewers right now. Let me go ahead and make sure that let's make sure that, they're cool to follow. Uh, they seem like they're a bit quiet, but yeah, let's go ahead and let's give them a raid and make sure you say hi.
Okay.
Let's go ahead. They're going to be raiding in about 6 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to make sure that they're opened up for me. Go ahead and join them. And
Therapy complete.
say
I feel
hello.
revived. My mind is whole again.
All right, guys. Have a
Oh,
great night.
shut up.
I will see you all tomorrow. Have a lovely evening. Bye, guys. Good night.